Now we just have to.
Are we live?
Not yet. Well, we're live on.
Are we live?
Media. On social media,
We haven't clapped it out live yet.
We haven't clapped it out yet.
I'm here with the money team right now.
Check. Is this on? Is this on? Is this on? Okay.
I know some niggas that like niggas.
All right.
They go rape that nigga booty hole.
Wow,
Off the rim.
Before we even start.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Hey,
We're
Turono
live.
Talks. You know what it is. It's one of your hostess with the mostest.
Mr. Maloney.
Moses.
Mr. Chimney.
Maloney. Yeah, the
Moses,
Mr. Chimney.
Moses Maloneth.
Yeah.
Word.
How you guys last week, man?
Chimney.
Mr. Chimney. No, we're live. Toronto Talks. What's up,
Hey.
baby? I missed you guys last week. I watched for a few moments down in Vegas. You guys held it down with Tal. And, you know, it was dope. We're back. I'm back
We
this
didn't
week.
miss you, unfortunately.
I didn't think you guys missed me at all. That's why I
I'm
only
just
watched for
playing.
5
We
minutes
love
and said,
you.
fuck this shit. I'm out of here.
Now, you were rocking with us until I was like, well, I think Dustin died this week, so he's not here. And you're like, ah, fuck these motherfuckers.
No, I couldn't hear it. I had my phone on and I was watching for a couple seconds. I'm like, I can't really hear. I was in one of the casinos.
Something like that. I'm gonna see this one.
Yeah, like old school announcers.
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
How
we
was
back.
your trip?
Stuff.
It was good,
So
man.
much stretching, man.
So
We got
everyone
guests.
else
Yeah,
introduced themselves.
Yeah, we got guests. So, who we got this week,
You
man?
gotta,
Who's
let
up
me
in
just
here
make
this
sure you
week?
talk to the mic as well.
Oh,
I
hey.
know it's a little hard. You guys share.
I will
it,
make
but-
it work.
No.
Hey, my name is Chris. How you guys doing? Nice to meet you. Hope you guys are having a fabulous day.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm DJ Slam from 6 Degrees, I guess, as it's advertised on the show
You
right now.
forgot.
Some people call me Lava Arms. Some people call me, Noki Frito. Some people call me, Buddha Fresh. Some people,
What about Space Cowboy?
Space Cowboy.
Yeah.
Also,
I
like a
was
common
waiting
name
for
to
that
have.
That's a lot of names, man.
Yeah. I mean, I got so many more. I can't think of more, but I got so many more. Sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. Might be better.
Yep.
Nah, shout out to boys, man. We got 6 Degrees Radio from
AKA smack your mother while she's
89.5.
pregnant. AKA stab the fetus out
Oh.
your baby
Yeah.
sister. AKA
Wow.
2 heaters by the hip. Call me Elvis Presley. AKA
Elvis
I like to
fucking Presley. I
iron
like
my
that one.
underwear before I put them on.
AKA scrounging up change at the laundromat. AKA
Wow. It's going to be an interesting episode.
That was
Yeah.
good.
Off the rip.
That's
Yeah,
what's
that was good.
up.
That was
off
good.
the rip.
Yeah, man. And we don't even have any, do we have liquor up in here this week?
Nah.
No, I stopped drinking on the show.
Okay.
Oh no.
When did you make
I'm
that?
making a stance.
You're making a stand. When did you make
Yes.
this decision that you were going to stop
Somebody
drinking on
check
the
his
show?
cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's in the cup?
I don't know, some Purple Mo. Purple stuff. Big Mo.
I got you.
Rest in peace, Big Mo.
Yeah, rest in peace, man. Houston legend, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Cool, man. All right, well, you're no longer drinking on the show. That's news to me,
You know,
but
maybe I'll be
A
back.
lot of things change in a week.
yeah.
So this is as of like 2 weeks ago, or like a week ago.
I'm Frank Gallagher.
I wasn't here last week. I come back home,
Yeah.
and now all of a sudden this guy doesn't drink on the show. What else? What else have
It's
you
like,
stopped
it's
doing
like
on
a
the show?
12-step program.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else have we quit?
Yeah,
You know,
it was
I need to be
well-
informed. What else have you personally put aside?
I picked up drinking coffee on the show.
Okay.
I actually
Oh, wow.
thought he was like drinking yogurt. There was like a cup of
Yo,
yogurt.
I wish I was
Something
drinking
like
yogurt.
That would be so gross.
Drinking yogurt is nasty. How do you drink it? Like, do you let it sit out of the fridge for a bit so it gets more liquidy and then it's like warm?
I actually don't.
Microphone, my man.
I actually don't even drink the yogurt. I don't like the yogurt. I'm a yogurt fan. With the microphone.
I like yogurt. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yo, can we talk about 21 Savage?
You
Yeah,
talking about
yeah,
it?
Talk about 21
Yeah,
Savage.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Let's bring it up, man.
The 21 Savage shit.
Yeah.
I personally think that it's fucked up only because his mom got involved and his mom like put out some kind of tweet or whatever, and she's like, oh, everybody has jokes or whatever, everybody's going through real shit and you guys should be more respectful and blah blah blah. But honestly, isn't 21 Savage the same guy who raps about like shooting niggas in the eye and like
Right.
apparently may have done so? Like, why should we be so sensitive to his situation when he was apparently or allegedly bodied niggas? Like, I don't really feel I'm not too sympathetic to his situation, honestly.
I have a quick hot
point.
take here before we move forward with opinions.
Yeah.
Do we think that possibly 21 Savage is like a time traveling alien and he shot Slick Rick in the eye? And now they have to battle it out for who can stay.
I think it's
So
very
fucking random.
That's some serious
Now that you
stuff.
say
So
it,
random.
now that you say that,
So
geez,
random.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
man,
I'm
It's
still,
possible.
I'm still,
It's possible.
I'm still getting over
Anything's
like,
possible.
I'm just still getting over the fact that he's British. I would
He's
have never
British
guessed that.
Birth-wise, right?
Yeah, no, but like he
Right.
moved here since he was 12 or
Yeah.
something, right? Like you would think he'd still have an accent or something, right?
Depends.
Well, because like I know a
Yes,
bunch
no.
of dudes that are British and
I
like
mean, he
they were like,
hardly pronunciates his words, so maybe they
True.
do sound British when he's like actually talking.
True, maybe.
He's like, hey, hey,
yeah.
Yo, shout out Celebrity Drew. Celebrity Drew actually, he thinks that it was Tekashi 6ix9ine that called immigration.
Yeah.
I've seen some
Yeah,
Because he was talking
Nah,
shit.
nah,
Some
nah,
hilarious
nah.
shit.
From what I heard was he made a song recently where he actually had some lyrics that were very critical
A lot?
of
Yeah.
Ice, and
You heard that joint
kind
a
of
lot?
I actually haven't heard
Yo,
it, but I
it's
was
the beat's fire.
okay.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
Oh, the
I haven't heard it
beat's
yet, but I was
fucking
reading about it earlier,
bananas.
and because he was critical of Vice or whatever, they
Mhm.
kind of looked hard into it. But regardless, I
You
mean,
dig the
at the
beat.
end of the day,
Oh, what?
artistic integrity. You know what I'm saying? If he bodied people, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know the ups or downs of that. If he said he did on record, yo, that's artistic integrity. He's allowed to say
It's
that as
true.
an artist or not. You know what I mean? And I look at kind of it's like, yo, he's a peer. So for me, it's like I'm not really into clowning my peers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just the way I look at like we're in the same
Mm-hmm.
kind of league. So it's like, fuck it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna throw my
Yo,
support around. And hopefully
those
this
true- those
gets
fucking memes are
sorted
funny.
out. You know what I'm saying? Memes are kind of fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not gonna
funny
lie.
as fuck.
Yeah, but for me, I
All
just look
those
at it
memes
like,
are
hey,
mad
man,
funny.
that's
Yeah.
a peer. So hopefully, keep your head up. Hopefully, this gets sorted out. And I think it will. I think it'll be like the Slick Rick situation.
I think
you
so
know what
too,
I
man.
mean? He's got enough money where
I was just gonna
Did
say,
Slick Rick's
you know?
situation get settled like that though? Like didn't
it took a
When he went to
long
42
time.
years,
Because he went to
It took a
jail.
long
When he went to
time.
42?
For a bit.
I didn't know
It took a
that.
long time.
Well,
but
no, he was like threatened to be deported.
Oh, I didn't
he was-
know that.
Yeah,
Well, wasn't that like a
was threatened
12-year
for it.
fight?
I think so, and really, I think it only got exasperated because he went to prison in the first place. I think had he not gone to prison, they would have been like, all right, whatever. But because he did, that's what's up on the radar, like, yo, we're gonna deport you and whatever.
Yeah.
And then he started fighting it and whatnot. But I think he's pretty well situated.
Maybe
now.
he just went to jail on purpose because he's like, fuck, I'm staying in America.
No,
What, Slick Rick?
No.
Yeah, he's like,
no.
12-year bid, let's just fucking do it.
no, that's
No.
not why he went to
No,
prison.
that's
Why did he go to prison?
They'll just give me my
He
citizenship
had-
when I come back.
He had some beef with his bodyguard. His bodyguard was extorting him. I think his bodyguard was family
Oh.
as well, and had threatened him or whatever. So Rick got in a gun or got in a whip. Had the gun and did like a little drive-by, hit somebody else accidentally in the foot, and he had to do some time for that.
Damn, I didn't
Slick
even know
Rick's
that.
a
Is.
fucking
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yo, did you listen to his album when he came out, The Art of Storytelling?
Yeah.
That song, Adults Only, where he's just the
Yeah.
whole song just about
Yeah.
like giving it to girls in the butt. And like he just came out of jail, and that always had me kind of like, why are you so like obsessed with giving it to girls in the butt? You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yo.
you're in the butthole.
Man, I never looked at it like that,
the whole
man.
album.
Yeah.
What's a more
Like that,
raw?
like that.
What's a more raw '80s sex hip hop track? Talk Like Sex by Cool G Rap or For Adults Only by Slick Rick?
Man, maybe even
Anything from Two Live Crew?
yeah, I was gonna say so horny from Two Live
But
Crew,
between those
or,
two, I would have to.
Oh no,
re-listen
before
to
all
that.
that, For Adults Only was on the album after he came out of prison, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so never mind.
Yeah,
They're not the
I'd have to say
same
Two
era.
Live
They're not the
Crew.
same
Like
era.
Uncle Luke owns that era, bro.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. I think Talk Like Sex is a doper joint than any Two Live Crew.
Oh, I mean,
joint.
Cool G Rap is
As
the
far as
man, though.
lyrics
Like,
go,
dude,
that track's nasty.
as a rapper, Cool G set bars that dudes didn't even start touching until like Big Pun and M really started coming back. You know what I mean? Like his multi-syllabic style of rhyme was fucking nuts. I listened to his shit from back then. I'm like, wow, his albums might not have been like the greatest on a whole, but damn, man, his verses are fucking wild. Even for what he was doing in the '80s as part of the Juice Crew, like he was miles ahead of everybody flow-wise in that camp. Hands fucking down.
Shout out to Cool G Rap, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Or friend of the other show. They're all just one show.
Yeah.
My life is a fucking show.
Yeah, and Cool G's the man though, man. Like, dude, that guy, like,
I don't know. He's been making some weird moves lately, though. I think. Like, I don't know how I feel about him and like necro and stuff. You know what I mean?
There's a clip on
Why
Breaking
not?
Records Radio
Yeah.
on YouTube. Check it out. Breaking Records Radio. Make sure you subscribe.
Nice.
There's a clip on there where
Cut
he
it in right now.
explains-
Like, cut it in. Like, cut it.
I wish I could.
Yeah.
But there's a clip on there where he talks about him and Necro's relationship and how the whole
Yeah.
album came about. So just go
Okay.
on there and check it out.
Is it like a good? Is it like a good thing though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out
5-minute
Necro,
clip.
man.
I think Necro's
Cool.
yeah, he's a wicked
Cool.
producer.
I like,
No,
I
he's
like
a
that
dope
one track.
producer.
I like
Yeah.
that one
He's a
track
dope
he's got.
producer.
I Need Drugs. That shit was
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
hilarious. He took LL Cool J's I Need Love and
I
just
love
flipped
it.
it.
Yeah.
I fucking died when I heard that shit. But Necro's production is dope.
I know.
And he's always
Yeah.
been into like that. Plus the movies and stuff.
Yeah.
So if I'm Cool G Rap, that's money
Yeah.
right there. That's beats. That's videos.
It's
That's
true. Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just not like a huge fan of like him rapping though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like
Oh,
the
his brother's
ultra
better.
death rap is
His
like I'm not a
brother's
huge
better.
fan. But like yeah, man. Like I recently found out like Huzzah by Mr. Motherfucking Esquire was like he produced that, and I was like, what?
Necro produced some joints. He
Yeah,
produced the
like I didn't know
Jihad
that.
on
Yeah.
Built for Cuban Links too.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Ghostface
right.
and Ray, he produced that joint.
Yeah,
That was like a
he's-
10-year-old beat at the
If it
time.
wasn't
Yeah.
for Necro, there'd be no nonfiction. And
That's
nonfiction is one of the
True.
illest
Nonfiction,
fucking groups.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Can we
low
also
key
credit
underground.
MC Search
Yeah.
with that though?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, but I mean, Necro kind of like paved the way and showed them like this is how you do it. They said, you know what I mean? Like
Well, he
those
showed
things, like, yo,
them. He
showed
showed them
us.
on the underground tip, but I mean, nonfiction itself was formed by
I-
El Bill and
Yeah.
Search.
Which
hate the
is
way he
which
raps.
is
Yeah.
Necro's little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like it's like the weird thing about Necro is
So
like
weird,
the
we're talking about
overpronunciation.
Necro.
Yeah, but also like the weird thing too is like he's such a good producer and stuff. But
Yeah.
when he raps, he sounds like he's rapping like in his bathroom, like beside his toilet.
Yeah.
like, the quality, but it's like weird. It's like weird, like the recording style sounds like it's like he's talking away from it or like he's like hiding or something.
I
don't
think
know.
that's his horrorcore style that he's
Maybe.
really trying to pull off the whole, like, I mean, like Alfred Hitchcock type persona that he's
Yeah.
trying to represent or kind of like be.
That's
You
true.
know what I mean? And like he's not spending no
Maybe.
money on that shit.
No, of
you
course
know what
not.
I mean? He's just
No, of
he's
course
saving
not.
money, just making money out
Yeah,
of that shit. Right?
it's just weird. It just doesn't seem balanced, right? Like the
torture
production levels
focus
up
on-
here.
Yeah, like I
the
don't
recording
like.
is not there.
Yeah. Well, that's. I mean, there's a fine line. There's like a thin balance between being able to kind of like have that punk aesthetic and it
Yeah.
actually works
Yeah.
and not. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like some people put shit out that's not mastered, not really mixed and EQ'd, and you're like, yo, dude, this is fucking horrible. And other people put it out, and you're like, yeah, that
Yeah, that
works
makes
because,
sense.
It does work. with
Yeah,
some
you know,
stuff.
aesthetically, like that's you. That fits your image.
It's
you
true.
know? So-
Well, that all
It's like a
depends
lo-fi
on
thing.
production and stuff too, right? Like
Yeah.
all that depends. Like you got like some banging clean trap beat and then some like shitty mastered vocals over it. It sounds like
Mhm.
shit.
yeah.
But like
Yeah.
if I go make like a raw boom bap beat, I can like not even edit my vocals and put it on and still sound alright.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
right.
true.
So and that's the thing too. Is like mixtape versus like album music. I always look at it too. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
throwaway shit, there's mixtape shit, and then when you get like that actual real album,
Mhm.
that's like the stuff that we can tell. Like
Yeah.
they put money. They took it to like whatever big studio and had it like.
It's true.
Stabbed up with a scalpel. Stabbed up with a
But
scalpel.
do people still listen to horrorcore rap?
You
though?
die.
There's still
Yeah,
like
it's
there's
still-
still like a cult following.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
still from Necro.
Yeah,
What is music?
absolutely.
Okay.
I
I
remember, like-
I'm not listening to this.
Well, I mean, Tech Nine's coming, and Tech Nine is kind of horrorcore, right? But
Kind of.
No, he used to
kind
be.
of.
You definitely used to be,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But, I mean, live, that guy's a fucking beast.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like, he's amazing live. One of the best I've ever seen performing live, like, to be completely honest. But yeah, he's still got, like, a huge cult following, if not the biggest of any independent.
Oh, yeah, he
like,
does have
Isn't he like
videos.
hella rich?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because he's unsigned, like he's
Yeah.
He
independent.
owns
right?
his own
He
distribution
has
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
He has the most successful underground hip hop. Like,
Yeah.
No.
Or, independent.
No, I was like the only person that might be more, unfortunately, in the same realm too, would be Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah,
They
but
might
no,
be only
but Tech
the other
Nine
people.
actually
Maybe, yeah.
does have
Yeah.
the biggest, like by like you know what they put out.
Yeah.
Like,
But the thing is just like,
profit they
but the thing
make,
is just like,
they-
and I'm not
Rhyme
defending.
Sayers is high on that list too. I think
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
second or
True.
third.
Yeah.
And the thing is just like, I'm not a fan of Insane Clown Posse, but they do like the Gathering of the Juggalos. which
Yeah,
is
those are
they
huge.
got
Yeah.
their
You know?
niche crowd,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just huge.
Yeah, like how much money are they
Juggalo.
pulling off just doing those? Like,
I mean,
once a
if
year?
that's such a attainable thing,
Yeah.
why are people like still like fiending for deals and trying to be signed? Like why is that
I don't know.
Because
The
it's two different
mentality,
things. Not
the
everybody
mentality.
wants to spend 25 years building a cult following.
Yeah.
That's true.
Perception as well, you know what I mean? Like, it's definitely perception, because if you technically say, hey, I'm an independent artist, people are going to say, okay, you're a struggling independent
Yeah.
artist. But if you say I'm signed, they're going to assume that you're
Oh yeah,
successful.
some people will sign just for clout.
But I said it before on the show, you don't know, like, you can sign a record label and basically, like, you're working minimum wage.
Yeah.
You owe that label
Look at
money.
TLC.
Right? TLC was the most
TLC is a
successful group of all
perfect
time.
example of that.
But
Like-
that's just bad management.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just somebody, like their lawyer or somebody fucked them over bad and didn't,
Yeah.
you know, help them out, didn't read their contract or something, because there's no reason why they should have been broke. Like,
Yeah, but is it possible that like artists who've been signed, you know, like they got their fan base? Like, is it like, I always wonder, like, why don't they just do 100% indie? Like, why do they always try, like, for instance, like Styles P.
Right.
Like, he put out like 4 albums last year, and every time I seen it, it was attached to some kind of obscure label.
Right.
Like, why doesn't he just take, I'm sure he probably at least sells like maybe 13, 15,000.
I think in
Why
all
not just,
honesty,
you know what I mean?
I think in all honesty, up until recent times, financially, that was almost impossible unless you had Jay-Z type money.
Yeah.
Because just to market your album, produce it,
Yeah.
you know, then actually
Paying for
press up the
studio
physical
time and
copies,
producers?
you know, all that, plus
Engineers?
press up physical copies and send it out to the stores. You
Yeah.
can't get it out to the stores
No,
without
fuck no.
distribution.
Yeah, of course
Now
not.
you
Yeah.
have Spotify, you got Apple Music, you
Yeah.
got Tidal, so you got all these things, but you still have to deal with the marketing aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing, when Drake drops an album, you see he's on every Spotify list. Drake's picture's almost on that shit.
Yeah, but that
except
was
for
shady.
the
Yeah, but
That
I
was
feel
shady.
like, yeah,
That was shady.
yeah, but I feel like they do that aggressive marketing because
Yeah.
they put so much fucking money into it.
Yeah.
They need to get that
They
shit
need to
back.
get it back,
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
Cool, man.
yeah,
But that's what I'm saying. Until recent times, financially it wasn't feasible. Now it's financially feasible because you don't need distribution. You don't have to press up a goddamn fucking thing.
yeah. Why
anymore, right?
can't
So-
like an artist? Would you stay with SP? Why can't an
Yeah.
SP just be like, fuck it, yo, you make beats, you want to produce a song? Okay, yeah, we do it
Yeah.
off the string, give you a couple points, and then fuck Spotify, fuck iTunes, all that
Yeah.
shit. Do a Bandcamp. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tweet it out, IG it out, and just collect your bread off that. That's an easy
Band-
like 10, 20 bands right
Bandcamp
there.
won't work until some really notable hip hop
true.
acts are only using
Yeah,
it.
because
still,
it's not like there's not like a place where you can find like a bunch of new shit that's released on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of
you
them
gotta,
guys are
it has to be
audio
linked.
Mac.
Yeah.
A lot of them are audio
Audio
Mac.
Mac,
Yeah.
One thing I will say though is okay, we still have pay to play. Now it might not be for the radio station, but now it's for blogs.
Yeah.
So now you got to pay to
Yeah.
play for blogs, and you might pay that 50,000 to one blog or whatever to get to a consortium of blogs.
True.
And you're gonna be on that blog for the one day, and the next day all that shit's gonna be for free on every other MP3 site.
Yeah.
So you might not get that return immediately back
Mhm.
on your investment, but you still have to pay out that initial money to the blog. So maybe that's where it is. You know what I mean? Because a lot of successful stuff is now it's all algorithm based. It's
Yeah.
all Instagram trendsetter based.
It's true.
So you gotta have those people in your back pocket, which maybe those labels have and whatnot. But again, right now it's the most feasible time for independent artists because we don't need
true.
labels like that
Exactly.
anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the
We
thing.
need them for touring though. You
Yeah.
still kind of need them. Certain
True.
things. Certain things.
Yeah.
You need a label for touring? Like, shouldn't you just need like a
No, it's just like a good PR team and stuff
Yeah.
like that would push
True
for like
agency,
that.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's certain things you do
But
and don't.
I think the
you know?
thing that I think the reason though that like a lot of people like are looking for labels and stuff is just because they're inexperienced. Like the people that don't
Right.
know about like how the music industry is. Like
Right.
the people that are new, they're like, yeah, I'll just get a deal and this is how it works. But everybody that's been doing it for I don't know, like even released one project, they're like, why did I need anybody? I didn't
Right.
need anybody.
in the first
Yeah.
place?
Yeah.
Well,
you
they
know?
realize that after their first go
Exactly.
around, and they've kind of networked and made those connections themselves and
Yeah.
whatnot. Because they realize, look, no one from the labels with them on the road when they're out there touring and
It's
whatnot.
true.
They're making, they're meeting all the point people themselves,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of what it is. That's what I'm saying. So now it's perfect for
Is-
indie artists.
Is or was Tekashi 6ix9ine signed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Oh, and that album was garbage.
Yeah, the album.
It was good for those who like that type of
They
type of
made
shit.
it look like. Here's the thing with Tekashi that most people will never really get. Tekashi was signed to a label who was owned by the son of the most powerful man in the music industry.
Who's that?
Puffy?
No, Fuck no. This guy could like literally look at Puffy and be like, dude,
Isn't
fuck
it
off.
like
Like I could.
Universal or something like that?
So
Or like,
Sylvain Granger
Okay.
is the head of like UMG Universal Music.
I thought you just meant like in hip hop, so I was just like, yeah, it's like Puffy or
no,
Jay
I'm
or
talking
something.
all of music.
Yeah,
so this
yeah,
is
yeah.
the guy who brokered the deals for the remaining distribution labels to make more money from YouTube and all the streaming stuff and whatnot. Like he's the guy who pretty much brought the music industry to where it is now. Like, and they said he's gonna be like the last guy to do any of this type of shit or whatever. You know, like he's the fucking man at the top
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the music and probably movie industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't even hear about
Yeah,
it.
it's probably
And his
pretty-
son, you know, he started up the group. And coincidentally, that we're talking about Tech Nine because he has Strange Entertainment. This guy, Elliot Granger, tried to start Strange Entertainment as well, his own marketing
Oh, but
management
then, like,
company, but
Tech
got
Nine
sued,
jumped in?
right, or whatever. Tech Nine kind of sued that company, this, that, and the other. But anyways,
I'll talk about it.
6ix9ine was signed to that guy's company, and that's why you know it's like, oh shit, this guy almost seems like he's invincible and he could do so much. Well, you have the son of the most powerful man, you know, in the music industry back.
well, he wasn't invincible to the feds.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, think about that dinner that 6ix9ine went to, and there was the shooting, and because his management wouldn't be let in, this, that, and the other, it was a meeting with this guy's son. You know, it was like a mafia type meeting. Like you need to separate from your people or whatnot. So it was a fight between you know 6ix9ine's former handlers and this guy, and you know this, that, and the other. Someone gets shot. Obviously, the feds are gonna get into it because this is the son of a fucking damn near trillionaire.
This is gonna be the best movie of all time.
It's gonna be a really fucked up movie.
Did
Like,
anybody wish like fucking like bad shit against Takashi? Like, yo,
Yes.
I just want nigga, I don't want you to die, but like you need to get like knocked the fuck out on camera. Like you need to
Oh,
be
wow.
taken down a peg.
I think he already has been taken.
Yeah,
down
yeah,
as
but
many
he's going
pegs
to
as he
prison
can
for
be.
it.
No, I mean prior to this.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Prior to this.
Yeah, we're just waiting.
Pardon?
Do you think people will still fuck with him after Snitch?
Oh yeah.
He can't come out on no fucking gang
Yeah, bro.
shit
Nah,
Honestly,
That's all he does.
Even this
That's true.
week,
after snitching.
Who knows
I
if
was doing
he's
a
even
party.
gonna come out?
Are we
Somebody
gonna
requested
get a
his music.
444 from Takashi?
oh fuck it.
Yeah, he's gonna drop like one of those.
He'll be 44 when he drops that shit.
Yeah, you know, who knows how old that guy
What are you
is
saying, though, Mike?
No, I was
out,
doing a
when he
party
gets
this
out.
weekend. Someone asked for Takashi, and I'm like, yo, he's a snitch, bro.
Yeah.
And he's
Hey.
like, well, I don't care. I like his beats. So,
Yeah,
motherfuckers be rocking with him.
All right.
It's probably the same people that like when I DJ and they're like play hip hop.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
people
yeah.
dance
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
Like, okay,
fucking
worked. Yeah.
Right?
We were talking about this. This fucking disgusts me, man. Like the hip hop culture, our urban culture, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like
Speak on it.
we say no snitching. That's so important. No snitching.
Right.
Then a motherfucker snitches. Well, who cares? His music's great. We say okay when it comes to being a top tier lyricist. You know you should write your own rhymes. I'm a huge fan of Drake.
Right.
Couple songs. I believe Drake writes his own music. Couple songs. Actually, who cares? His music's great. Like
Yeah.
we turn a blind eye
Shut
to the
up.
fuck
Shut
shit.
up, my boy.
You know what I mean?
Just
Like
It's a
Good
generational thing.
yeah,
man.
like but this is what it is now.
This
Like it's
wouldn't
this
have flown in
generation.
the 90s.
Of course.
Yeah, like I fucking hate anyone born after the year 2000.
Oh,
I really do. I
Don't
really
do
do.
that.
Something's wrong with you people.
Don't do that.
Yeah, like
What's up, the
smoke? But
Man's
I mean, like,
hating on a whole generation. But I feel you.
I mean, like,
frustration.
like the Tekashi 6ix9ine shit. Like, I feel like he was suicidal. I feel like he was a poor kid that grew up in the Bronx, right? I liken him to like a drug dealer. So a drug dealer will say, you know what, I gotta take care of my family, I got a kid, whatever.
Right.
I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna sell drugs. I might die. I might go to jail,
You
but I'm
might.
gonna make as much money as possible. I'm gonna put that money aside for a lawyer, whatever. I'm gonna make sure my family's taken care of. Tekashi says, I don't wanna sell drugs. So you know what? It's 2018, 2019. The music industry sucks right now. They don't even care about music. Let me just do some fuck shit. Let me antagonize people. Let me tell people to suck my dick. Basically be suicidal, risk his life like a drug dealer,
Yeah.
risk his freedom like a drug dealer, make as much money as possible, and hopefully be able to, even if he goes away or he dies, his family will be taken. To be honest with you, I feel like he probably would have been in a better situation if he dies, because when and I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you why. And there you go. What happens when an artist fucking dies? Streaming goes way up. Now what like they didn't even want to fucking take the $500K so we can post bail. They're like, fuck you, rot in jail. So again, like I get why he did what he did, but it's just this generation, man. Like you could like his music if that's your twist, but I personally think he's more known for the antics.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
not even debatable.
No, his like his Instagram and stuff was like, you know, like constant
Yeah.
madness like that. Just like him just doing crazy shit and like saying crazy shit and like running around with like AK-47s and hot tubs.
It's
Like,
not
you
like
know,
we've
like-
seen this shit before.
Let's not
though.
forget Roy's pointing a bazooka at Benzino via webcam, though.
Yeah.
Right?
I haven't seen this.
That's the
video.
Hitler's got video.
Yeah, that's the
Make some noise for that.
Listen,
But-
man, like,
And Benzino don't play.
But I believe Royce. I believe Royce. I believe that shit.
Royce the
I
Five-
believe that
Royce
shit.
the 5'9"?
Yeah, I believe that shit.
Shout out Royce the 5'9".
You know what I'm
Put out
saying?
album of the year.
My favorite's still
Yes.
Book of Ryan.
Thank you.
my favorite's still Ghostface like sunning Action Bronson,
Yeah, that was-
and that camera that's like too low, and he's like ducking in. He's ducking in like he's like, let me give you a talk right here, and he's like going in with like the smooth like
Yeah,
tracks on the back.
yeah.
That's still my favorite. That's still like the most gangster thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, man, there's always been foolish shit. There's always been stupid dudes. I mean, look at Suge Knight.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Every
yeah.
year there's
Yeah.
somebody fucking stupid or somebody foolish or some crazy shit that happens.
Finally said the law. Things catch up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is. You can't really put it on this generation. You know what I mean? Because no matter what, nah, man, every year there's always somebody where it's like, fuck this guy, and you don't even really hear from them a few years from now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happened to what's his name, man? Dude did the fucking blonde dreads with the one eye, man. I can't remember his name right now.
Fetty Wap.
Fetty Wap.
Oh,
You know what I'm
Fetty
saying?
Wap,
Like,
yeah.
shout out Fetty Wap. You know, you
He's
guys
making
in the
a
band,
comeback. He's making
you
a
know,
comeback.
but you know, right? But he,
Designer.
you know, for a few years, you haven't
Yeah.
really
You got all
heard
these
his that.
stats.
Right, so you
And
know,
you know what's funny? Soldier Boy was one of them, and now this year his name's been solidified in legend.
that's that circle.
Yeah.
Comes
Yo,
right back
because
around,
he started
man.
this internet.
That's what I
antics
said.
shit.
He started.
He started
shit.
Wait,
Google.
have you seen
He started this whole
Yahoo.
jump online. You know what I mean? Hyper
I use
promotion.
Google.
But have you guys seen?
But he
like,
also was a kid. Like, I give him credit for doing all that shit, but he was a kid.
And that's
When you're a
just
kid,
it.
you do dumb
That's-
shit.
That's what we are
like,
forgetting.
you're getting credit for being a kid.
Exactly.
True.
He
Exactly.
wasn't a marketing
At
genius.
yeah.
At the heart of all these things, you know what I'm saying? I've said it so many fucking times. The hip hop, even rock and roll, that is promoted on the radio for the most part, pop, you know, style hip hop, pop rock and roll, is marketed to a fucking disposable demographic.
Yeah.
It's not meant for us.
No.
So if we're sitting here, you know, saying, trying to get our, you know, our intellectual fucking minds fed from the shit that's on the radio and from 6ix9ine or whatever, we fucked up. Not them.
I just
I don't.
I just
yeah,
want to say,
yeah.
on regular radio shows, not like 6 Degrees Radio, because we
Yeah.
we definitely don't do that.
No. You guys are purists. You know what I'm saying? You guys are playing the Canadian.
And you know, I
stuff.
get what you're saying, but I mean, like, if you have a kid, right?
Right.
I mean, isn't it your responsibility? Like, you know, if they want to watch TV, your kid's like
Right,
10.
right.
It's your responsibility to say, no. You can't watch that show yet. That's not for you. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
It is for the kids, but I do feel as adults, you know, purists, if you want to call us,
Right,
call us
right,
that,
right.
we have a responsibility to call the bullshit when it's bullshit because
Fuck yeah, we do.
because at the end of the
But-
day, you know, kids are impressionable.
Fuck yeah, you do. But at one point in time, you were a kid and you weren't trying to hear that fucking shit
It's
when you
true.
were
Yeah,
a
but
kid
the
at
only
all.
the
That's
only
true.
difference.
And the more somebody said that to you, the more you're like, no, I'm gonna listen to that shit. You need to
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here with that bullshit attitude.
but your mom,
That's how we are.
your mom ever
True.
said, if you don't listen, you must feel.
Yeah, but
So
I'd say, yo,
the only
go around
difference,
the corner and
yeah,
listen
but
where
the
you can't
only,
hear
yeah,
it.
but the only difference now though, is these fuckheads. They have their Instagram with like millions and millions of followers, and they can influence. Guarantee. There's another dude that's gonna come out and pull the fucking Akashi antics. The only difference is they're gonna step it up. Because they're gonna be like, oh, is that easy?
Of course.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
It's gonna have a rainbow beard too.
yeah.
Like it's gonna be like next level.
But there's always something. Every year it's always something. Whether it's technology or a rapper doing this. I mean, snitching aside and you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like the bullshit drama side, let's look at ODB. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's pretty
we're coming up,
fucked up.
ODB was fucked up. Let's look at Bobby Brown.
Yep.
Yeah,
Let's
he's
look at the
fucked up.
fact that Prince, Bobby Brown, Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley all died of drug overdoses.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Michael
Like,
Jackson died of a drug overdose?
Nah, he was.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I mean,
drugs,
it wasn't recreational.
but
You know,
drugs and music go side to side. That's a little
True.
different than trolling.
Yeah.
But it's
But-
weird. But it's a like
Yeah,
real
but
I'm
they
trying
did
to
fucked
say,
up. Not everyone
we're
did
talking
fucked up
about
shit.
we're talking
You know what
about
this dude
a
fucked up
form of
shit.
entertainment that, for the most part, you know, like, I mean, at the heart of it, we know what it is. But, you know what I'm saying, all bullshit aside, rock and roll and hip hop are based off debauchery. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're based off of us being out at the park saying, fuck this. We're saying, fuck you to the man. We're going to drink till we pass out. We're going to smoke. We're going to have fun with our boys. And if I can get my fuck on, I'm going to get my fuck on. And thank you, DJ, for playing that tune because I'm dancing and loving this shit. Oh, my man's tagging the wall over there writing our crew's name. That's what's up. That's what this shit's based on. Same thing with rock and roll.
Fuck
You know,
yeah.
sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
I
This is
agree.
what entertainment is based on.
I agree.
And every generation comes up and has their form of it because they have to look and say, you guys did your thing, we have to do ours. And the generation that's always ahead of them always looks down and says, nah, man, y'all ain't doing it right.
Well, put it
Y'all
like
ain't
this,
doing it
though.
right.
Put it
You know
like
what I'm
this,
saying? Like,
though.
that's evolution of art and entertainment.
But
This
this is the
is
thing,
like-
though.
Yeah.
6ix9ine was warned by a lot of.
Of course he was.
Just take it easy.
Of course
Chill
he
out a
was.
bit, bro.
Yeah, but it's weird. It's weird, like, cause I guess it comes back to the I can't even say it, but like people aren't being real anymore. Like a lot of it's an image,
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
Exactly.
Of
Right?
course.
Because it's like even like people
I
like
can
you
go far back in hip hop though. People
No.
haven't been real for a long
but
time.
no, but like it's like an extreme of it now because it's like 6ix9ine and then he does all this shit and then snitches and then there's like 21 Savage, like nobody knew he was British. He kept talking about like growing up in like
But does
Atlanta.
being British
and
really
then,
matter, though?
No, but
No,
no,
it
but
doesn't,
just
but
like
you grew up in
Why
Atlanta.
say that?
If he
No,
If
busts
you're
his
from
gun
China
in
at 12,
Atlanta, does that
grew up there,
No,
right?
but he's like he kept talking about like whatever, just like there's a lot of stuff and then there's like Lil Xan, promoting like Xanax, whatever, and then it says like after shit started getting fucked up, he's like, no, I don't do Xanax anymore and stuff like
Right,
that.
right,
And it's like
right.
weird. It's like these guys are all like promoting this kind of thing, and then they're like, no, I don't actually do that.
or like
though."
future,
Oh, no,
yeah,
sure.
Future quitting lean and being
Yeah,
embarrassed
Future
to tell
been
his friends
sober.
about it.
Yeah.
Future
Or,
been
yeah,
sober.
not
Future
mentioning it to his
sober.
fans. Like,
Yo, doesn't
but
he-
I seen an interview with Future from like 3 years ago, and he's like, "No, I don't do lean." So like, I don't know, like,
Yeah.
Well, I think
It's
a
weird.
He
big
really
part of
ever
this,
do lean?
probably not. And he's probably maybe done it once or twice, but he's been around it and he sees the effect of it and he understands the power that it has, the power to draw people in, the power to fuck people's lives up, and the power to make money off of whether you're selling it or not. So you're just tapping into that energy.
Yeah, but
it's
the-
like writing about, saying, yo, I sell coke, but they don't really sell coke. I don't think what's the name, fucking Pusha T
Oh, yeah, like,
and
or like
Malice,
Stitches,
really
too.
sold
Yeah,
coke.
yeah.
Well,
You know
that's
what I
what
mean? I
Drake
think
did
they
on
might have
it.
grew up around it, and they understood it enough to really be like, okay, this is how the game
no,
works.
I think Malice did too.
Yeah, I think he did too.
From what I understand,
The word
again,
was he was
reading
locked
their,
up
their
and-
grandma did or whatever.
But was Stitches selling bricks? Like he really did. Like
Oh,
he was
wow.
selling
Bricks to the
Stitches.
face!
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about
Nah,
that.
he was on some bullshit.
if
Yeah.
you,
Wow.
as a listener, believe everything
Yeah.
that
Riff raff.
any of these artists fucking say, then again, you're an idiot.
That's true.
Point blank. Period.
True, but
You
that was-
are- You
that's
think
why I
Jay-Z
like
lost
Atmosphere.
96 bricks?
True.
Stayed up for 3 days straight, eating fucking cookies and made it right back.
True.
If
No,
anybody
but you
lost
know who
96
did?
bricks,
It was
it's
a-
fucking game
It
over.
was D-Haven. It was D-Haven. It was noise for D-Haven.
That's so
But
true.
even the number, it might have been like 6.
D-Haven
That's
is
so
also
true.
defined in
That's
You
so
gotta
true.
make it sound good,
That's so
Exactly. You
A
gotta
lot of
make it
people
sound
tell
good.
stories
Fake
of
it
their
till you
friends'
make it.
stories.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But and I get that. No.
Schwarzenegger's murdered a million motherfuckers.
No,
and
and I get that, but the only difference is
That's why Atmosphere is awesome. I'll just say that.
yeah, the only difference is when people fake it till they make it. It's
Yeah.
one thing to talk about, oh, I sold blow. I didn't really sell blow.
Yeah.
I've been around it, da da da. But when you talk about like Future not really doing lean, when you talk about when I bring up Dr. Dre, the fucking Chronic. 50 don't even smoke weed. Apparently, Dre don't
Nah,
even
he don't
smoke weed.
smoke.
But the problem is, and we'll just take it back to Future with the lean shit. That shit fucks with people. That shit
course it
ruins
does.
lives.
Mhm. Of course
And
it
and,
does.
and I don't really listen to Future, but does Future make any music about the negatives or the repercussions about doing lean? And if he doesn't, that's fucked
Not
up
currently.
because he celebrates it and he don't even fucking do it.
No, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. I think a part of it comes back to what you're saying earlier. You're talking about parents or whatever changing the channel. Look, you change the channel, you're just gonna encourage the kid to listen to it more. I think what you have to do is you have to take your child and say, look, you have to understand this is fake. This is entertainment.
Yeah.
It's just it's just made to entertain you for a little bit. It's not real life. So what you see and what you hear, It is what
But
it
when you're in
is.
high school and all your friends think it's real life,
Yeah.
then it's hard to.
No, I kind of understand it, but I mean, when you got a parent who keeps it real with you, then at least you could kind of understand a little bit more. Like, that was my thing. When I was a kid, I was sitting there watching RoboCop with my dad when I was 5. My dad looked at me and was like, yo, this shit's
Yes.
fake. And I'm like, well, how do they do that? And he was like, oh, it's just trick cinematography. And he broke it down for me and kind of made me, kind of showed me. And from that point on, I was like, okay.
I remember when
got
I
it,
first
you know what I
found
mean?
out wrestling was fake when I
Yeah.
was 9 years
I
old.
wanted to
And it crushed you.
Yeah, I did. I never
Ruined
watched
my
it again.
life.
I never watched it again for that moment
Yeah.
before, and I was like,
I didn't even give a
I was
shit.
like, wrestling is lame. Then do you know what I got into huge next?
Yeah.
Hip hop. When I was around 16, I really realized that rappers didn't live their shit.
Of course they don't.
And it became wrestling to me again. And then there were only a few artists I would listen to. I would listen to like Classified,
Yeah.
Atmosphere. I would listen to like a few, you know what I mean, Bumpy
Yeah.
Knuckles. Like anyone that I knew was really about
Yeah.
that shit that they were
So,
talking
so
about.
then, and it goes back to what I was saying about like that fucking double standard. Do we want our rappers to be living their fucking lyrics?
Not
Because
Not all.
No,
so then why do we
it's like-
why do we shit on them
No.
when we find out that they're
No,
not?
I think it's when
I
you build your
don't.
whole career on that. You know, like I mentioned.
you're just like
No, but it's like,
Exactly. Like it's entertainment.
I think it's different for
these
everybody.
rappers.
yeah.
I
Well,
think-
if you build your whole career on it, like once again, like Stitches,
Yeah,
his whole
yeah.
career was selling coke.
Yeah.
That was his whole career. Like, and he would like
Based
do
on
coke
that.
at shows,
Yeah.
and he would like do all this kind of shit. Like, it was all coke, coke, coke. And it's just like I guarantee he didn't do any of
Nah,
that.
he grew up in the suburbs.
Yeah,
He
so
had a
it's
good
like, you know
family.
what I mean? It's like when you build your whole, like Lil Xan too. Like his name is Lil Xan, and he's got Xan tattoos all over him. Like his whole career, and his thing's called like Xanarchy. Like he's all about Xanax, and he's like, I don't do Xanax, bro.
And what's with the face
You
tattoos?
know what I mean?
Yo, face tattoos. I'm
I don't get that.
ready for face tattoos.
Hey man.
What's it gonna
Hey,
be?
man,
No
if you
disrespect
got
to
these
anybody
tattoos-
with face tattoos.
But
No, I mean if you have I'm sorry, but if you have a face
The
tattoo,
trend
it's
of it
like,
needs to slow down.
but yeah, if it's like gang shit or prison
It
shit,
needs to be
then
a little more
whatever.
distinctive. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
You
But
know
I
that
mean,
rapper
like-
with face tattoos. Oh, that guy. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
sick.
yeah.
Not like, which one? The one with only half the face, the one with the pill.
Do we blame
the
Mike
one-
for that though? Do we blame Mike Tyson for the
Tyson?
face
Tyson.
tattoos? You know what I'm saying? Like
Might have
Mike
been
and
popular,
then,
fine.
Wheezy, these guys kind
The
of made it a
Game.
little popular. Game.
Butterfly.
Oh
that
yeah,
turned into LA.
What's his like Gucci?
Yeah,
the,
Gucci.
The fucking ice
Ice
cream.
cream
Yeah.
cone.
We don't talk about Gucci Mane on this podcast.
Hey,
Okay,
I got nothing
okay,
but
okay.
positive things to say
We're,
about
we're not
Gucci,
we're
man.
not willing to have any
Gucci!
possibly.
Honestly,
You and
I
him, man.
have nothing but positive things to say
Shout
about
outs
that
to Gucci
dude,
Mane.
I
No,
read
he's-
that guy's bio about a year ago, and like the change, the
Oh, yeah, he
transformation that
switched.
he
Oh,
went
yeah.
through.
Did you ever
He
hear
did
his
that.
rap criteria for why he's the best rapper ever?
What?
Oh man.
He's not the best rapper.
No,
Yeah,
no,
but
no,
on
I
the
wanna
radio
hear
show
this.
they asked
He's
him, they're like,
improved.
who's the
How
best
about
rapper?
though?
No, on a radio
Shit.
show they asked him, like, who's the best rapper of all time? He's
Yeah.
like, me. Without a doubt. And
I like
and-
it.
all the
I like
confidence
it.
in
And
the
I
they're,
like
they're
it.
laughing at
I
first.
like it.
He's like, nah, for real.
I like it.
Who says what they actually do when they rhymes and does it? Me. That's true. And he starts naming.
That's
like,
true.
Who been up against adversity? And he
No.
starts saying like, but he starts naming some of the craziest shit.
Gucci
And
is
it's
somebody
like,
that I believe.
that is a
because,
wild
he's done it.
criteria
When-
for
when-
being the best rapper.
Unfortunately, when Jeezy sent people after Gucci, he bodied one of those
Yeah,
dudes.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And he beat those cases.
But
So
does that
Gucci's one of those
does that
guys
make him the best rapper?
Not at
No.
all. Not
No.
fucking
the
at
most
all.
realistic one.
It
Not
makes
even close.
It makes me put him in the bumpy knuckles category.
right.
Shout out to bumpy knuckles.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's definitely a few guys though. You know what I mean? Like they're
The
real.
first man to get Birdman to
R.I.P.
pay up without a
Yo,
lawyer.
R.I.P. Prodigy.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Prodigy,
Did
yeah.
we believe Prodigy?
Not really.
believe
I
him
mean,
in what sense? Like that.
I got guns to cripple sons. Like his
guns.
gun talk. I don't.
I
yeah.
believe some of it.
I
not
believe
of
all
it.
Americans have guns, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, did we believe Prodigy? Do we believe
Okay,
Prodigy?
Yeah.
Prodigy in his early raps, no. Like rock you in your face, stab brain with your nose.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like,
It's just a dope
but
line.
That sounds real
It's just
though.
a dope
Prodigy
line.
came into Queensbridge through Havoc. Like he wasn't from there, but he hung out there. He knew everybody. And, people in Queens were getting down. So I mean, like once again, that's like close association. Do you know when you start to believe Prodigy in his lyrics? When he started to do the Return of the Mac shit with the Alchemist, I sit alone in my dirty ass room staring at candles, high on drugs. I was alone with my hand on the Mac 10 handle,
Yeah.
scheming on you.
Now
Yeah.
for me, I believe Prodigy. I mean, not everything he was talking about,
Or
guns, but I
spent too many
believe
nights
that.
sniffing coke, getting right.
I
He was the
believe
first
the hell
rapper
of
to
a lot of
glorify
that shit.
doing coke.
Nah.
What about the cow?
Say what?
Melly Mel.
Melly
Oh,
Mel was
yeah,
promoting
true.
it.
It was
Yeah,
like-
Method Man
That's
too.
right.
Yes, it
Anti
is.
coke.
It was not really. It was a celebratory.
It wasn't really celebratory. It was like made to sound like
You know,
it, but it
any
wasn't
of the
like,
rappers that had the name Ski, had the word Ski in the names, were talking about coke back. in
So
the
I was
day.
just talking about Skilo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Skilo.
Yo, that's why he couldn't get taller. It stunted his growth.
And all he wanted was an 8-ball.
That's
Right,
why he just
right.
wanted- that's why he had to wish because he had no money.
Damn. Rabbit in a hat with a bag. And he sold his 6'4" Impala.
That doesn't spell coke fiend. I don't know. We
We gotta break that
the
down.
biggest
We
history.
gotta break that whole
Yeah, we just broke down fucking Skilo.
You know what I really believe though?
Word.
I really believe Big Pun.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I believe
yeah.
that nigga was crazy.
He
I heard
was.
some stories about Big
Yeah.
Pun, man.
They kidnapped DJ Who Kid.
Yeah.
And locked him in the back
Oh,
of a van. And
I'm not
put him in
gonna
a
lie.
Uzi.
Who Kid stories are the greatest shit in hip hop to listen to.
Yeah.
Like I can listen to Who Kid instead of
You
like
ever hear
music.
a
Instead of
story?
his mixtapes, I'll listen to just a Who Kid mixtape of stories.
You
that
ever
fucking
hear his
die.
Michael Jackson story?
I think so.
I gotta check
It's
this
pretty
out. I
funny.
gotta check this out when I get
Oh,
home.
dude, Who Kid's
I
got
have
stories
to.
for days.
I have to.
Like,
That's amazing.
you ever hear the one where he's talking about he's on tour in Japan? And he's got the room with Shaw Money, and like the girls waking up saying somebody was shooting in the room with a Jason mask.
Yeah. And it was Eminem.
Yo, so for like days,
Oh,
they
shit,
called
I
the
remember
cops and like they told everybody, and they're like, oh shit, okay, whatever. And then like 2 days later or whatever, he sees Eminem with a fucking air gun or whatever. Jason Mask got opening up someone's room shooting, and he's like, oh, you motherfucker. Because they were all like on the same floor or whatever. But, yo, that guy's got stories for days. I
That's
love
wild.
his stories.
Amazing.
Yo, it's funny that you bring up you bring up fucking Michael Jackson.
Shout out
And,
Michael Jackson. Actually, there's some weird shit going on with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, like, do you believe that shit? Like,
I'll watch the
I have to watch the
documentary, and you know what I
documentary.
mean? Like, really watch it.
Well,
and
there's
take
another
it
one that came
in.
out too.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
how
from
am I
the,
the
it's
loop?
I'll
from
watch
the
it with an
Survivor
open
or
mind.
from the,
But you know what? Can I just say
I
something?
will watch it with an open mind.
If
Give me
Michael
go.
Jackson, if it is without a reasonable doubt that Michael
Yeah.
Jackson is guilty,
Yeah.
I will not cancel him.
Wow.
Okay.
Why is that?
why? That's a big
Wow.
why.
Because Michael Jackson's my favorite artist of all time.
I get where you're
I
coming
can,
from.
I
That's
can
like,
hate him, but
it's
I can
definitely
still
a
like those
moral. You know
songs.
what I'm saying? It's a moral
I can
fucking
still those songs. Are
Quagmire
like,
that
you know
people
the
are gonna
feeling and
be
nostalgia
in.
you get.
Yeah.
You can't bury that. I can stop listening to his music, but if I go to a fucking mall and they're playing just another part of me, I'm not gonna be like, like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that nostalgic feeling in my body is gonna be like,
It's true.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's something you can't just like put a mind
Yeah.
stamp
It all
over.
depends.
No, I
right?
feel you.
It all
I feel
depends
you.
on the person
on
what they
Michael
choose to
Jackson.
do.
Like
And it's still, it's, yeah, like,
Yo.
I can't. Maybe I won't listen to him, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you can't help that shit.
no, I agree. And like, yeah, like, even for me, like, the Who Is It remix I have is like my number one kill
Marcus
every
said
show
he's
I ever
calling
DJ,
in.
ever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not giving that up. Like,
Yo, I don't believe it though, man. I do.
I have to see it, but I
No,
don't.
Yeah.
no. I do
I've never believed
believe.
he's
I do believe that everybody should have the opportunity to tell their story and speak their. Victims need to be heard. They need to be listened to. But I mean, this shit ain't nothing new, man. And there's been like people that came out where they were like, yeah. I remember this one. He was saying, yeah, they paid me money to say that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
too much. There's way too much gray there. So
Yeah.
I get it. They made this big movie or whatever like that, and that's cool. But like, I don't fucking believe it. I personally think it's just another money grab.
Mhm.
Yeah.
See if Baca calls it. Sorry.
yeah.
I apologize
I'm
right
using
there.
that- I'm using that phone
Shout
for
out our
live
boy
right
Baca.
now. I'm using that phone for
Okay,
live
we'll
right
see.
now.
We'll see. We'll figure it out or whatever. We just our boy from LA, from Cali, you just dropped
Oh,
a message.
dope.
He was like, "Yo, I'm calling in."
Dope.
I don't know how we'll make that happen, but we'll try to figure it
WhatsApp.
out and
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp or something like that.
Yeah, I might
try to
be-
speak to it or something.
That
But
actually
shout out
reminds me-
Baca if he's still,
You
if he's
might
still
be able to
watching.
get him on.
I was gonna say that actually reminds me with the radio show. Like, I didn't tell you yesterday, but part of the reason why, like, because we do our radio show live.
Yeah.
So we were laughing. We had Turk in yesterday, and so Rob and I were sitting behind the glass, giggling the whole time. Like, first of all, we had a lot of calls.
Yeah.
But the thing is we found a sound bank, and we're gonna start using it in the next show.
Nice.
And it was like, and some of the stuff was just titled like "baby fart" and stuff like that. And we're just like, how do we sneak this in? How do we sneak this in? Like in the middle of this really serious interview, we're just like, how do we sneak in like baby
Oh,
fart?
fuck.
And
You
stuff like
just
that.
put it in. right or wrong. Just put it in.
I forgot about that.
Try to come with some Nardwar type shit.
Yeah. Baby farts are some of the nastiest.
Yeah, they're
farts.
fucked up, man.
Yeah.
I'm
This
not
guy
gonna lie.
knows. He just
I
had
can attest to
one.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
congratulations, my man.
Congrats.
How long were you have your kids? First kid or what's up,
My
man?
first child, only gonna have the one, bro.
Only gonna have the one?
Only gonna have the one.
Okay, man.
Factory's
You've
fucking
only
closed.
you've decided it's only been a month, and it's over.
Factory, I know before. Factory is closed, bro. Factory is this is Toys R
Like
Us.
1
We
month,
locking
he's
the
like,
fucking
done.
doors.
Yeah.
Word, I
Done,
like it.
man.
I'm actually
Yeah.
trying right now myself. But
Yeah?
I shouldn't even say that, but yeah,
Yeah,
kind
you
of.
can say that shit.
Yeah.
But what you definitely don't want to do is try, like
Yeah.
make it a thing.
Yeah.
You know, because then like it puts the pressure on
I feel
it.
you, I feel
You know
you.
what I mean? You just
I
wanna
just like to practice.
exactly. That's how you want
You
to
know what I'm saying?
do.
Like, I'm just trying to
But,
practice.
you know what I'm saying? That's how you want to do. But then if it
Yeah.
becomes like, yo, okay, not pregnant yet. All right, cool. Let's practice some more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Practice
like,
makes perfect.
Yeah.
Not pregnant yet.
All right, whatever. You know,
Let's practice some more.
I feel you. I
You
feel
should be
you.
like, yo, so what's your friend's number again? He kind of looks like a
Oh,
little bit
no.
like you. Baby could pass for you.
Oh no! Oh no, bro!
Why did I was joking?
Nah,
Why are you so
no.
sensitive in here?
No, it's not even, man. It's not even.
You giving man's. You
I
see,
didn't
you
know
giving
what you were saying.
No, I feel you. Though. I feel you.
I'm just saying.
No, never
Keep
mind.
it
I
light.
keep on my side.
Keep it light.
No, I'm at a point in my life. I'm not necessarily where it's like I'm trying or whatever. I'm just at a point where it's like, yeah, if it happens, it happens. Like, I'm old enough. I don't give a fuck. You know, like
Yeah.
it's time. I'd rather now before like 5 years from now or something.
I know. I
Right?
think about that shit. I'm gonna be because I'm 35. I'm gonna be like, yo,
There
when
you
my
go.
daughter is like 15.
Stop doing it. The
Thinking
double.
about the future's
Yeah.
whack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
We at that age. You ain't really there yet. I don't know if you really
No,
there
man, I
yet,
turned
but-
30 this year. That's like
It's
the
in-
first year
it's
where
in
I'm
me.
like, fuck.
It's in me.
Nah.
Like when I turned 25, I was like, I got
Yeah.
5 years. Now that 5 years is almost up, and I'm like,
Shit.
shit.
It's not that
Yeah.
serious, man.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like
It's not, it's not,
There you
man.
go.
Wait,
When
what's
you
not
turn
that
30
serious?
this year?
Turning 30.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hell no, man.
It's not that
October.
serious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
30,
really.
yo, 30, you
Next
gotta
month.
do it right.
Word.
Though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do it
89.
right.
Yeah, man.
Hey.
Yeah, man.
Yo.
Don't worry, you're still in the cool zone as long as you're not
Yeah.
born after 2000. That's the cutoff. That's the cutoff. You know
If you
what I'm
can't remember S Club 7, then you're cut.
Wow.
saying? Yo, I seen every single time I get to sit down with people, I always have to bring up one of my personal childhood heroes, which is actually no longer a childhood hero. I guess I should say. I have to bring up Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to bring up Bill Cosby only because I do believe he did all that shit.
Yeah.
I do believe he was raping women, like knocking them out and raping them. But then like
Oh wow.
Well, he got convicted.
yeah, no, but some people still don't believe. Dude, I talked to a girl, a female. First of all, if you have a vagina, and you know, like the victim has a vagina, I feel like you should automatically just give that other person with the vagina the benefit of the doubt. Wait till all the
Yeah.
facts come out. You know, but this girl, she's like, no, I don't believe it. He was a married man. You knew what was going on when you went up there. And then I looked at her, I'm like, listen, they knew he was married.
Yeah.
Yes. They went up there to fuck a married man. Yes. But guess what? If they went up there to bang out this married man, and then Cosby was like, yo, I want to do this with you. And they
Right,
said,
right.
no, I'm not into that. We can have sex, but I'm not into that. And Cosby drugs that person, knocks them out, and does that thing that they're not into, how does that make it okay?
Yeah.
Because everybody's defense is, oh, they went up into the room, they knew he was a married man, he was a
Yeah,
married
yeah.
Not to sound rude here, but what was he doing with them? You make it sound like he was.
No,
in
no,
the,
no.
like,
I'm just saying.
like-
I'm just saying.
You are going to fuck this horse.
Oh,
Give her the Spanish fly.
No, but speaking of Spanish fly, and this is the thing. I don't know if you looked at any comic. Like, did you ever own comics
Yeah,
back in the day?
yeah.
When you were a kid, like comic books.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, did you ever look at the ads that they had in the back of those comic books back in the day?
Yeah.
No, they used to have ads for
I know.
Spanish fly. So
Oh,
something
really?
about that time and that era, like men thought
It
it
was
was
kind of the norm.
appropriate.
And it was
Yeah, they
exposed
thought it
to
was
kids.
appropriate to push it in women's drinks back then.
That's
man.
crazy.
I remember those ads.
It's
I
a
really
weird
thought much
time. Like
about them, though,
you could watch
man.
movies and like women were getting roofied in movies in the regular. Like it was normal
It's a
and
normal thing.
Yo, this is like
Yeah.
I've totally never noticed all this.
So,
Well, like first of all, I never read comic books, so this is all like crazy new to me. I gotta check all this shit out now.
they'd have like the ad for sea monkeys and then right beside it, like
Yeah.
Spanish fly, get a woman horny. Like, oh shit, I want some sea monkeys. What's this shit? Yeah, I'll try that. And, you know, I don't try that shit, but you know, like Spanish fly, they'd advertise that shit in comic books back
Yeah,
then.
man,
crazy.
it's a really, really, it's a really scary time right now. Like I won't even. Actually, even right now, like a whole bunch of dudes, I feel safe. If this was a room with all women,
Yeah.
I would need see the cameras you had. We need to double that shit. I don't trust that. When I walk into a room with women, I walk with my head down, my hands in my pocket, like paranoid as fuck.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
so,
you're like you have an advantage I don't have though. Is you're like I got a daughter and a wife, and I'm just a single like giant weirdo, right? Like, and they're just like I got no defense. Like I'm the one that's scared walking into a room like that, right?
Nah, man, I'm always terrified, man. Too much fucking shit, and it's way too easy because at the end of the day, all they gotta do is just put the accusation out there.
Yeah.
That's
Who did they do that to recently?
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
Look at Chris Brown.
And then he
Yeah.
puts out a shirt saying "bitch is lying."
Yes.
That was mad wild.
And you know what?
That's kinda
Honestly, yo,
wild.
and,
That was the wrong
apparently,
way to.
yeah, but
celebrate
no,
it.
but apparently he was suing her for like
Information.
thank you,
Yeah.
and that should be the new lick. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna put
No,
out
that's
some,
of course, that's
Well,
the
yeah,
way that
for
you
sure.
should do it. Of
For
course,
sure, man.
but it doesn't always happen.
No, well, like
Or maybe it does happen, but it doesn't get as publicized as like the actual accusation.
I think the whole point is like they want it to be like gone. So like if they do sue it, it's like part of the suit is like it has to be gone from the public completely.
Anybody made that accusation against
That or a
him.
hit.
And
Put a hit on
everyone is knowing about it. 100%.
Yeah. No, it's definitely a little bit of a weird time, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, raise your sons properly, you know what I mean? That's the main
Yeah,
thing.
That won't even
Raise
say
your kids.
wrong because
No,
again,
it-
false accusation. If it's a false accusation,
No, I feel you. I feel
It's a
you
false
on that. I
accusation.
feel
You
you
can't-
on that.
Vindictive
Yeah.
women and men
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
For sure,
some
for
people
sure.
are crazy. Vindictive.
There
Yeah.
definitely, there
Like the
definitely
shit
are.
people will do to fucking get petty revenge on
There,
you.
there
Yeah.
definitely are, but here's the thing: you raise your son properly. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be certain situations he might find himself in or whatever. But if a woman says, "Hey, I was raped by this particular man," there's gonna be DNA, there's gonna be scarring,
No,
there's
of
gonna
course,
be certain
of
ways
course.
to tell if something
not
was
about-
forcefully
honestly,
done
honestly,
or done
Secret
against.
for
But honestly,
than a
though,
day or
I'll
two.
put it like this though. Honestly, I had a friend who got caught up in that
Is
kind of
Is there a
case.
bunch of
Yeah.
stuff like
Where
that?
he
Yeah, I
was
don't
in
know
a
what's
house
going on
where
with
she was
his.
getting banged up by other dudes.
Shout out
Wow.
Will
And-
Chamberlain.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, everybody, he had to deal with going into jail, all that shit before he got off. It's a process when you get a false accusation
sure.
against you. It's not just like,
course.
oh, DNA and then you get to
Yeah,
go home.
Yeah, and guess what? There's two court systems.
Yeah.
There's the legal court system and there's a court of public opinion.
No,
so
for sure,
even
for
if
sure,
you
for
get
sure.
off scotch free,
It's true.
For sure.
you still got that stigma. Yo, don't go in a room with
It's
that
true.
dude. He's a rapist.
Yeah,
He's gonna.
it's crazy. You can
grab
beat
your
a case and people
vagina.
will still think
Yeah.
that you like that.
That's
right?
what happened to the guy from what's the guy's name? What movie he was doing that movie for the Haitian Revolution, 18 something. He had an old case where he beat.
So with
And
Danny
then,
Glover?
no, not Danny Glover.
Oh, okay,
The
I was
guy
gonna say-
actually
Danny Glover,
acting in
right?
it. The guy actually acting in it, and there was this whole campaign to not
Oh,
watch
you're talking about the guy who did the Nat Turner movie?
Yeah, Nat Turner
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And
I
he
know
was
what you're
remember he
talking
got
about.
off his
Yeah.
shit, but
Yeah.
his whole movie was boycotted because
Yeah.
of an accusation that he beat.
They were gonna boycott that movie
But
regardless.
yeah, but that's what I'm
They were
saying
gonna find a
though.
way to fucking
But when you have your own people, when you have your own people going against your movie
Yeah.
because of something you didn't do, and
No, I feel
that's
you.
when it becomes
I
an
feel
It's
issue.
with like
Yeah.
Aziz. Aziz was like a bad date, and the girl was like mad that like he wanted to smash after the date or something like that, but then nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then she put this whole thing out there, and then everybody was like saying Aziz was like an asshole or anything, but like like he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And like the girl wrote a whole story, and everybody's like, looks like you just like took this the wrong way. Like he didn't force you to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't like sleep with him. So
Yeah.
it's like I don't understand like what the hell the whole problem was.
So what's the
Yeah.
takeaway here?
Yeah.
We're all
Culture
men.
is a scary thing.
Yeah.
I think the takeaway is just, you know what I'm saying, is you're a man, you gotta trust your instincts and just respect a woman. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, chances of you finding yourself in that
But that's
particular
like-
situation is
Yeah.
really
But that
slim.
shit is obvious, like what you just said. Like that's the
Yeah,
obvious.
to
And
some,
you'd be
not to
surprised.
everybody, not to
You'd
No,
be
but,
surprised how
like,
many
that's just,
people
like-
ignore the obvious.
Mhm.
And
But, like-
they'll claim that ignorance is bliss. You know what I'm saying? But
Or free.
ignorance is
Yeah.
9/10 of the motherfucking law. So
Yeah.
you can't claim ignorance.
But
on
I
that
mean,
shit.
like, of course we should treat women properly, but it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like we all know that.
Yeah.
Even the fucking dudes who are fucking rapists and creeps and fucking all
Yeah.
that shit know that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But they don't. So it's like it's deeper than that. It's more.
No,
than
but the
that.
takeaway
Like,
is, like, if that's not who you are, you're not gonna find yourself, again, very slim.
that-
Slim that
I
you might
will
find
also
yourself.
disagree with you
No.
because I was false. The first 2 times I had sex, I was accused of rape.
Wow.
2 different women.
Whoa.
and neither of them
fucked
were
up.
raped.
That's
It was
crazy.
both consensual sex.
Yeah.
So what did you have to do? A court or
Well,
whatever?
the one situation was very bad because in the court of public opinion, I was a rapist,
That's
even though
fucked up.
I got raped. I got raped. I wasn't really willing. This girl took me to a park, and I'm not gonna get into details to share, but like
Did you put
pushed
pine
me
cones in your
down.
place?
No,
That
nothing
they
like
didn't
that.
belong to you or something?
And I would hardly even call it sex, but I was known at, like, people called me a rapist. I had beef with like some serious people, you know what I mean? I pretty much like dropped out for half a semester
Yeah, for
because
sure,
shit
yeah.
got deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After time, like, you know, people knew it was bullshit, certain people and shit, you know, and I got back. But that shit was crazy.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the second girl I ever, and once again, wouldn't really call it sex, consensual. We met up, hung out in the park,
Yeah.
we were drinking, and we consensually, you know, made out and then took clothes off stuff. Next morning, my dad gets a phone call, basically claiming that I got this girl.
Without, yeah, yo, listen,
Yeah,
without
this is
you,
crazy.
without
This
you
is reveal is
exposing
crazy.
your
Dr.
whole
Phil
shit.
said,
My question is this though, because going back to, you know, it's
So it
very
happens.
rare.
That's
It's
all I'm
very
saying.
rare, but it happened. Why did they do that? Why did they make those accusations? Like, what did they want you to be their
Wait, how old were you?
boyfriend? And you
No,
weren't.
I didn't really. The
So
one,
why did
no,
they
the
do
one
that?
girl I was cool with. The second one, like, I was cool with.
How old were you again?
13.
Jesus.
Okay, so I'm willing to bet
That's
that the
crazy.
reason why it happened was because these girls, obviously people started talking about it and people knew and they didn't want the word to get back to their
So they
parents
make it
that they
sound
willingly
like-
did this,
they
so
make it
they
sound
made
like
it
they didn't
sound
do
like
anything
you
wrong.
forced
Thank
them
you.
into doing it,
But that's fucked up.
you know?
And also,
Whatever the
and also
reason
maybe
is.
just like because of the age, like not like phrasing it properly. Maybe when they brought it to someone and it got like pushed
Probably
to
shame
another
people,
level
to
too.
be
You
honest,
know.
just after it's done,
Yeah.
you know, people
Or
are talking to shame,
not-
you know, like people are
Yeah.
gonna gossip and talk shit, so
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
absolve themselves, but, you know, fuck, that's fucked up.
Or just being
That is
young,
crazy,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But it's just,
Yeah.
I'm saying, so I understand the opposite side of it. Like, I understand, like, and that's just on a small social scale.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being like, your personal reputation is your everything, you know what I mean? You're a celebrity.
Yeah.
And then somebody just says something fake and then
Then you're
like,
Yeah,
fucked.
that happened.
cancel.
That happened
Like,
to
that's
Nelly.
kinda
That
crazy.
happened to Usher, no?
Yes.
Well, it happened to Nelly
Yeah.
for sure,
Yeah.
a few times.
Yeah, but Nelly hasn't been canceled yet. Usher
Yeah.
hasn't been canceled.
But
that's,
Nelly-
that's the
Nelly-
problem too,
yeah.
though. If you're a repeat offender, like if it's proven that
But
you,
Nelly
you're
didn't do
fucked
anything.
up,
Yeah.
Nelly didn't
Then,
do anything.
yeah,
It was another
cancel
false.
you,
It was
you
a
know
false
what I mean?
accusation.
Yeah.
against Nelly.
yeah, that's what. But
Yeah.
he's been accused a couple times.
Yeah.
And then even in like the culture that we have right now, where it's which by the way I'm all for, you know,
Right,
super
right.
pro woman, you know,
Yeah.
I'm all for that. But even when you say, oh, raise your sons right, but he was 13, 100%
that's crazy,
consensual.
man. No, I
Like
feel
what do
you.
you tell your kid? Like you tell your kid, hey, you know, you teach them how to have safe sex. You know, you teach them to respect women. You teach them everything that you're supposed to do. And then they do the right thing.
Right,
And
right.
then the girl goes home and maybe she tells her older sister or whatever. And
Right.
then it gets to the parents, and the parents like, my kid would never do that.
Right.
I guess you were assaulted. And then it comes back to, you know, your kid, and you're like,
Yeah.
what? Like it's just that's why, man, hands in the pocket, heads down, be a virgin until you're 30.
Hey.
I
Yep.
feel you. But you got to kind of teach your sons, you know, because I'm not gonna say you messed up, like, you know, whatever, your kids or whatever. But I would say, you know, tell my son at 13, like, look, bro, you can't be fucking in the forest first and
But
foremost.
if they
at
fucked in the
13,
bed and
like that.
anything happened, it doesn't
I
matter.
don't know.
I feel you.
Half
I
the
feel
shit
you.
I was
I
doing when I was
feel you.
13, like my parents would have never had any like idea
No.
or thought about it. You know,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like smoking weed like you know in like weird bathrooms at like bars and stuff like that in the beaches.
I smoked crack when I was 13.
What the fuck were you doing, bro?
Nah,
Man,
he's a wild
this episode is really turning into fucking Dr. Phil. It's
in
really
the forest?
Toronto Talks.
I was
What's
in
going
the
on here?
forest?
This is the Maloney episode.
No,
What's
it
going
was
on here, buddy?
at my homie's house.
Well, he was saying
Wow.
that before. That's what they do to
Tell us
rappers.
about smoking crack, bro.
Wow.
Oh, I was 13. I was fucked up. I was running backwards like through like neighborhoods and shit.
I thought you were going to see a cornfield and I was going to lose
And
my
like,
shit.
and I was running fast. Like I was running at like my normal front speed backwards.
No, but like, okay. No, but like,
That was
how'd you
crazy.
get
That's
to
impressive.
smoking crack though?
Yeah,
Like,
how
how
did you
did
guys-
that happen?
Whose parent had it?
I don't have to put that out there.
Oh no, no names, no names.
No.
Okay, word. Okay, gotcha.
Did you buy it or was it given?
I'm going to assume it was found.
Oh, it's found.
It was
Oh,
found.
it's
I know
found.
exactly where.
Yeah, I've smoked shitty weed I found on the ground before. Yeah, I get it.
I don't think it was found in the ground. I think someone's going through someone's drawer. And like, what's that? I'm not going to say who. Someone,
Yeah,
No, the first time I smoked weed, it was my friend's mom's weed.
Yeah.
And we smoked that shit for like a year straight. We almost decided to start selling, be like, yo, this is all profit. We're just stealing it for.
Did she have like a stash of it?
She was a smoker.
So you just kept breaking yourself off?
It wasn't me, it was my friends.
Wow.
Yeah,
And for
man.
a year, this woman
For
like never
a
did
year.
notice? Did she
For a
notice eventually
year.
or what?
I don't know, I don't live in that. Whatever, it's free weed, man.
For real,
Yeah.
I feel you.
Caught
man.
on
My
eventually.
first 2 months
Sure,
of
my
grade
pops
9,
would've caught
I was
on
the
if I was
biggest
pushing.
trapper at the Brantford Mall. Because that's where we would all go hang out on Friday nights, all the
Niggas
13-year-olds.
trapping.
I say
Trapping at the
that
mall.
sarcastically. But what I used to do is I used to sneak in my I found a lockbox they had, and I found a way to screw the hinges off the
Yeah.
back. So like when they would go to sleep at night, I'd stay up like 2 hours, so I knew they're in a deep sleep, and then I'd screw the hinges off the back of this box to flip it open the opposite way.
Oh,
take
it's
the
so
weed
jokes.
out, and I would take up like a quarter to a half ounce each time. Right? I did this for like 5 months, and they never caught me. I was making like, you know, like $150 a week. You know what I mean? And like when I'm in grade 9, $150 a week was lit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like going to the mall every Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom would be
Skipping
like,
last period, taking chicks to the movie.
Yo, I was trapped in
Taco
fam.
Bell.
yo, mom would be like trying to give you lunch money. Be like, nah, I got this weed.
Yeah.
You need something?
Yeah, yo, let me break you off someone here.
And then when they confronted me, because I'm pretty sure they waited till they found my weed to confront me.
wow.
Or
Wait,
did they
what?
come home one day and did they just bring it up? It was one of the two, but either way, because I've been caught.
Did they
with
give you a
it.
slow
I've had a
clap?
lot of stories.
Congratulate
Like,
you
I
for
can't remember
your
which
genius.
one.
They
But
put
no,
him on, yo, they're like, yo, help, sir.
No, they were
Shit.
mad. They were mad.
Oh, yeah, man.
And then they got like a heavy duty box to lock it in.
Yeah, I mean, do the
Screw
math,
hinges off the
right?
back.
You're still in a half
They
ounce
were
of weed
mad.
Yeah, I
for
was like,
5
what
months?
the fuck?
Yo, are you a
How
handy
big was this
guy?
box?
Like,
Handy?
can you like fix shit?
Not really.
He's a
You know how to break into that
MacGyver.
motherfucker.
That's hilarious.
If there's a will,
man.
there's a way.
How big was this box though? Was this like a treasure chest?
No.
Like, how did they not notice that like an ounce was going, or like half an ounce?
It'd be a quarter to an ounce each week.
Okay, but I just mean like, was the bag like
Did
this
they make you pay it
big?
back?
No, but I can't really remember the repercussions.
That's
There were
fucking
repercussions.
You know what'd be funny? I'd be like, yo, give me the money that you made.
Yeah.
Give me that fucking money
Yeah.
right now.
I don't even know if I told them I was selling it.
No, they just secretly started like buying a little bit more each time. He's
Yeah.
like he's making his own money now. He's
Yeah.
being his own entrepreneur.
What if you would have said that and they congratulated you?
Speaking of weed, though, man, like I bought some weed in Vegas. Man, I paid damn near double in American money what I would have paid for the same shit here in
Yeah.
Canada. You know what I mean? Like it was $56, I think, for a half quarter American down in fucking
How much?
Vegas.
Was it good though?
It was alright.
Oh man.
We're spoiled here. Like
You got the cut,
It was BC Bud too.
Bag illegal.
what did I get down there? Shit. I don't know. I can't remember what I got down there. They gave it to me in this little glass jar or whatever.
Whoa.
I went to a dispensary and then like a couple days later I went walking down the strip and I saw just this little store and they were selling weed. I'm like, man, I could have just walked right here. I didn't need to fucking Uber it all the way to the dispensary. But yeah, man, it's expensive. It was the same price in the store too. It was like they sell it by the 1.5 gram. I think it was like $25 for a gram and a half is how dude was selling it. I'm like, man, I'm not paying this.
That's
Like,
crazy.
It's like
we'll
30
go home and just
$30.
fucking
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like double at least.
I had to like stretch it out and was there for like 3 days trying to stretch it out. And you smell weed everywhere because like it's legal, right? So like, and dudes don't give a shit. They're just smoking down the street. You don't see police anywhere on the fucking strip. So guys are just smoking. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to blunt so bad, but I only got a little bit. I don't want to go back to the dispensary. I ain't trying to spend all this type of money. So I'm just trying to stretch it out, just smoking in my hotel room, enjoying the view.
Jeez.
The other day I went to the dollar store. It's a little bullshit dollar store. I was
Shout out
buy-
to dollar store.
Shout out to dollar stores, but it wasn't like a real dollar store. It was like,
Yeah.
like a bullshit dollar store.
Yeah.
I went in there just to see if they had like zigzags. So I was putting together like a little weed package for a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I guess the guy he caught that. I bought a grinder or whatever. And he's like, "Yo, you smoke weed?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Why you buying this?" So I'm like, for a friend. He's like, "Yo, if you ever need weed, yo, I got that. Just come right here. He's like, I
Word.
got that." I'm like,
Yeah.
"You sell weed out of here?"
At a
He's
dollar
like,
store.
He's like, "Yeah, man, it's like weed is like Starbucks now. So he's like, yo, if you need anything more than 40, you just give me a call. You send me a text message. You just come pretend you're gonna buy something, and I got that for you." So what do you think I did?
Cop some weed.
Took that nigga's phone number.
What type of variety he have?
He said he has everything, but it just blew my mind that he was just so
Oh,
Now it's a lot about it.
Yeah, and I don't know if I should be like I
The
wonder.
dollar store's the new bodega.
Yeah.
No, that's what it is, bro. You know how many like we're gonna be in the age of fucking like bodegas like we seen in the Dave Chappelle movie. You know what I'm saying? Like
Some
we're just gonna
there'll be
go.
dollar stores.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dollars. Yeah, dollar stores are fucking little Asian, vegetable markets, and like, yo, Lane, what you got? And she got the whole fucking back wall. You're like,
Like, come to the back.
all
Come to the
right,
back.
got it, man.
But I was wondering if I should be offended. I'm like, yo, if I didn't buy this weed paraphernalia, would you still have been like, yo, do you smoke weed? Because
This guy.
just because I'm black and shit. You know what
No,
I mean?
I think you're looking a little
Like I
deep
don't
into
got
it,
like chapped lips. I
You
don't
literally
think.
bought weed paraphernalia.
Yeah.
That's like if I go buy a crack pipe and like the store clerk's like, "Do you need crack?" and me being like, "The fuck you think this?" Like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I would assume you smoked weed if you came in buying
I guess
paraphernalia.
that's fair. I guess that's fair. I guess that's
Was
fair.
dude white or was like?
Nah, he was schlanking.
Oh,
Which
that-
tripped me out even more.
Right? Right?
I definitely think it's the
Damn.
paraphernalia that,
Yeah.
that tipped them off.
That's what's up. Yeah. You guys ever been to Vegas before?
Nah,
No,
yeah,
I really want to
man.
go though.
Okay.
I want to go.
Man,
I
so
don't wanna lose
if
my
you guys, you know what? You don't really have to gamble when you're down there.
No,
You know what
I do.
But yeah, when you go, slip the get a lower class room, and then slip the concierge or whoever is like taking your check-in information, slip them a $20 or $40. They'll give you a complimentary upgrade to your room, man.
What?
Yeah, I got my room upgraded to like a junior suite from just like a room with like a queen bed to like a junior suite with like king bed and like ensuite bathroom and everything.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool. And yo, if you want to drink for free,
You
man,
just go to the like casinos.
yeah, you just
right?
go down to the casinos, just
Yeah.
play the penny slots. Some girl will come around, she'll ask you, you want a drink? You're like, yeah, I want like Coors Light or whatever. You just give them like $1. You don't even have to tip them.
Yeah.
She'll come back around 20 minutes later. Hey, you want another drink? Yep.
Say what?
Like all night, just want another drink? Yep.
If I was an
Yep.
alcoholic like I used to, that'd been great.
Bro, you could order anything you want. Like I was just getting beer, but you could order anything you want. I was sitting there. It was like 4 a.m. It was like 7 a.m. here. I had like 2 Coors Lights and like some other like vodka, whatever. Just sitting there playing this like
You're ordering
goldfish.
them quicker than you can even drink.
Oh,
them.
dude, I got like 2 of them. I'm like passing out. I'm like, all right,
I was
I'm
gonna play
finish
the
this
game
and go
3
back into
hours
the
ago.
room.
You literally play like 25 cents, just doing a cent spin each
Yeah,
time.
yo, I'll stretch a 20 on a slot machine. I'll stretch that shit for like an hour.
Oh,
I'm decent
man.
with. I'll
I love-
find the one that like you win the free games, because the one where you win the
I
free
love the
games,
free
yeah.
games.
that's where you win. You get the money, right?
Yeah.
So you just go, you play the pennies, you win. Like, all right, man, I'm up like
Shout
30.
out to
Let's
free
cash
games.
out and you'll go somewhere else.
So how come you were in Vegas?
Yeah.
I just wanted to go, man. My girl, she had to work like Christmas, New Year's, and whatever. So like, let's go do something. So we just went down to Vegas from like Sunday to Thursday. When we left, all the Super Bowl people were coming in. So we left pretty much like just in time because everyone was coming in. And when we went, we just missed all the fucking snow dropping here.
Yeah.
And then we landed in Minneapolis and then left there and it just started snowing there. We get to
Yeah,
Vegas,
you
I
got
start
lucky.
seeing like Toronto and Chicago and like
Oh,
Chicago, they're
Jesus.
lighting the train tracks
Oh,
on
man.
fire and all this crazy
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Yo, I got home. There was so much fucking snow in my back. I still had to dig to get into my fucking
Yeah.
house,
That's
man.
nuts.
Yeah. Like,
And then it all melted yesterday. Flooding yesterday. I'm like, oh shit, I'm fucking flooded right now.
Oh shit! I was
But
worried that my
yeah.
place would flood too.
Yeah.
Like the snow was up to my chest. Someone
Oh.
didn't come to my show.
I'm up to your shit.
Someone didn't come to do the show.
Yeah.
Because they were like, no, it's like it's a little snowy. You can't
I didn't feel kind of fucked up because I'm like 25 minutes away from the station, and on social media, dude Rob, who lives in Brandon,
Yeah,
Made it
he
up.
made it in,
Oh,
and I knew
man.
that nigga was gonna come in. So I was just like, yo, Rob made it. I'd be like, yo, my car's not built for that type of shit. bro.
Yeah. No, it's all good though, because I think half the time I was like, nobody's listening, or like I was like, wait, no, a bunch of people are listening, and I just started like talking shit about you and whatever. I don't know. I'm just kidding.
So yeah, I missed Snowpocalypse, man. It looked crazy. Like you don't understand. Like every news channel, and I'm in the hotel room flipping it. They were just talking about how like it was getting fucked up from Minnesota, Chicago, Toronto. I'm just looking like, man, this is fucking
Yeah.
crazy. I
Aren't
don't
you
think I'm going
nervous?
home.
Yeah, it was bad.
Aren't you nervous to be in America, like considering, you know?
Kind of, but not really. To be honest with you, it's exactly the same as here, man. The only difference is black people down there don't talk with a Caribbean accent. They talk with a thick-ass Southern accent. That kind of sounds like a Nova Scotian down east
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
accent.
yeah.
So that's the difference. Like,
Yeah.
in all honesty, like, here in Toronto, we're very Jamaican, you know what I'm saying? Like, we talk with very Caribbean accent. But down there, like, every white person speaks exactly the same as white people here, you know? And black people, for the most part, you talk to them like, feel like I'm talking to an East Coaster.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I had to ask, like, so what? Again, a couple times, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that's
like,
where they from.
you see the dreads and you're gonna expect like a Jamaican accent, but
Yeah.
you hear that Southern accent, you're like, oh
Southern.
shit. But other than that, to be honest with you, it is exactly the fucking same. Even the stores are the same. You might see one or two products that's different. It's exactly the same.
yeah.
The prices down there are the same as you pay here, like the same price you see in Canada, but that actually makes it more expensive because it's an American dollar, it's not Canadian.
Yeah, it depends where in the States.
Yeah,
you're
I was like,
right?
shit.
But then again, it was
Depends
Vegas too.
where.
Like I don't know if it's more expensive or
Yeah,
it's less
yeah.
expensive.
The big
It's
cities
hard.
are way more expensive.
Yeah, I'd
Like
imagine
New York.
so.
But they want you to shop in
Los
Vegas,
Angeles.
so I'm not sure if like they're gonna have things
Man, I
cheaper,
wasn't trying to
or if they're gonna have
shop.
it way more
No,
expensive.
it's
The price was way too expensive.
Yeah.
A pack of blunts is $15.
You go to Kentucky,
American. I'm getting a pack of
Shit's
blunts for
cheap.
$8 Canadian.
That shit'll make you
I was
just quit.
pissed, bro. I was so pissed off that I didn't bring a pack of blunts with me. I was like, I thought I was gonna have like access to like really sick flavors. I was like, yo, I'm getting some dope ass backwoods. Man, I was cheesed that I didn't bring a pack of fucking frontwoods down there. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, because when I was packing my bag, I'm like, yo, I didn't bring this with me. Nah, fuck you. I'll leave. I'll get home.
Yo,
You know,
I'll find
whatever.
it
I'm gonna grab
everywhere.
No,
I'm just looking
I was gonna grab
everywhere.
some like
Yeah.
Russian creams or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get down there, guys like, yo, $15 for the Russian cream, special edition. I'm like,
No.
just give me the honey bourbons, bro. Like, I'll take the honey bourbons right now. Like, fuck off.
Fix some blind
But
paper.
yeah, so tobacco down there at least was just as expensive,
Tobacco?
if not more, because it's American dollars, but the same
Yeah.
price you pay Canadian. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah, like everything. Like I wanted to buy a Raiders hat. It was $34.99. I'm like,
Lord.
man, I could get that for $34.99 Canadian.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Jordans were like, you know, Timberlands, $188 American.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's the most
Timberlands are
out here.
$199 Canadian.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
You gotta
So-
go to Buffalo and then
Yeah, I gotta go to the outlets
Yeah,
in
you
Buffalo.
go to small city.
Yeah, but other than that, though,
It's probably because of Vegas. Then it's probably just because they're like people are gonna
Yeah,
spend
exactly.
but
money.
that was at
Yeah.
I went to the outlet mall. You know what I mean?
What's the word?
Yeah, I went to outlet mall. What was crazy though is the hotel right across from me. The night that I left, well, I left on the 31st, and the next night was February 1st. They had, because it's Super Bowl weekend, so Redman and Method Man were there.
Dope.
And the next night, Big Sean is there.
Yeah.
And then on the third Super Bowl, French Montana was there.
Nice.
Baca, our homeboy Baca, I don't know if he's still watching. He had a show on the first, so I was cheesed. I was like, fuck,
yeah.
man, I could have went and
shit.
performed. You know what I'm saying? My boy had a show. He was down here for the night. I could have kicked it with him for the day or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But
Shout out to Baca.
yeah, shouts to Baca. But other than that, though, man, next time I go, I'm definitely gonna grab a whip. I'm gonna make the trip out to LA. You know, like, because it's just,
Go
it's
to
right
fucking-
there.
Go to fucking Queens, bro.
Yeah, I'll make a trip to
Go
Queens.
to
Why
Queens.
not?
Go to Queens.
New York might be a next trip for me.
Yeah.
I still gotta get out to fucking Switzerland, though.
Like I wanted to go rock the bells, like because is it in Queens or is it in Brooklyn? I always forget.
I have no idea.
It goes all over.
It
though.
goes,
Yeah,
it's
you
a
can
tour.
tour.
No, because like I think they stopped touring
Oh,
around.
okay.
I think it's only in Brooklyn again.
Okay,
I was
okay.
wondering what happened to it.
Yeah, like,
I
I
used
shout
to
out
go
to-
every year.
Shout out to LL Cool J for suing them.
Yeah, straight up.
Oh, really?
Suing them for
It
the
makes
name.
sense. It makes complete
That's
sense. I never
wild.
thought about that.
Right.
Yo, did you guys
Crazy.
go when he was here?
Yeah, I went to
I went to
I went to
the-
one.
I
That
went
was-
to the one with Tribe at
Same
the
with me.
hangar, and I went
Okay.
to the one the next year at the amphitheater at the fucking boats and shit.
Yeah.
I went to the
meet and greets were all on like boats and shit. It was
Oh,
trippy.
dope.
Oh, you went to the meet and greets?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit! I
Like
went to the
$500
one.
bucks a ticket. That shit was crazy.
Jesus.
Before I did interviews and shit, that's
Nice.
how I met rappers.
Oh, really? Word. That
I
makes
went to the
sense.
one that was at the same thing like the amphitheater, or not the amphitheater, the Molson whatever fucking theater they had there. And
Mhm.
so that's where I saw like Tech Nine for the first time. Like,
Yeah.
yo, dude
Oh,
killed
word.
it. They had Talib, they had Mosul Black Star did a reunion for the first time. Like they did
That's
solo
sick.
sets, and then like an hour later they came out and did like a full on like
Yeah.
Black Star set.
Sick.
MOP, who was the headliner?
That's
that night?
crazy.
EPMD was there that day. Like that was actually a really,
Yeah.
really. Oh,
Was that the
Nas
one
and
at the-
Damian Marley.
The air hanger
Yeah.
place?
No,
No,
the
that's-
Air one was the one I went to, and
The
that was
Tribe
like
one.
that was like Tribe,
The worst
the
venue
Far
ever.
Side,
Ah,
De La Soul, the Far
Yeah.
Side.
great line.
Oh my
Horrible
god, it was
rockin'
crazy.
performance.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that the worst venue ever though?
Yeah.
Fucking concrete floor, nowhere to
Oh.
Yeah.
sit, just fucking standing inside this dark concrete
sucks.
I remember-
slab all
That
day.
was-
I remember being
sucks.
like, I was in the crowd for like 6 hours after we got robbed by the cops.
Yeah. Whoa,
Like yeah, they found like they saw us scalping a ticket off of
Oh,
a
wow.
dude, and then so they searched us and we had like over an ounce of weed on us. So the cops like, I'm not gonna
That's
take,
horrible.
I'm not gonna take like gonna charge you guys, or I'm gonna take
Meat
your
you
money,
took it out.
or sort of this. He's like, you're just gonna give me all that weed. And then I forget what else he took. He took like all the grindage and shit like that. He just
Yeah.
took all that. He's like, but you can go in and you can keep that ticket.
Oh man.
And so like we get in there, and then we're sitting in the front, we're having a dope time. And I remember it was like 6 hours in, I was like, man, I gotta get like something to drink.
Yeah.
So go to the beer tent, sold out.
Oh shit.
And it was
yeah,
like
yeah.
halfway through the show, and I was like, they're out of beer too?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't get weed or beer?
Or
God
wine.
damn
But
it.
your story of the cops reminds me of a Rock the Bell story as well.
Yeah.
So we went to New Jersey the one year when they did it, when they stopped doing it in Toronto. And so it was a 2-day festival. So we went for both days. And so when we left the festival, the first day, we go to our hotelish place we're staying. And we asked the clerk at the front desk, we're like, yo, you know where we can get ganja? She's like, yeah. So she sets us up. She's like, all right, you got to go to this address. So we go. We end up like driving through this hood in Jersey. And we get there, and we don't have a phone number.
Yeah.
So we're like,
Just knock on
did
this
she say
door.
the number of the house? And we're like, my homie's like, I think so. So next thing you know, we literally did that. We're walking through the hood in Jersey, knocking on people's front doors, asking if so-and-so's there. And we're just getting the dirtiest looks. And this is like fucking like 11 at night. And people are like, yo, there's one like person who walked out their house and like followed us down their driveway and shit. We're like, oh, what are we gonna do? And then finally, like 20 minutes later, like out of a park across the street, like 10 dudes like walk up to us. And we're like, oh shit. And then that was homie with the weed. So that's how we got our weed. The next day, we're at the festival, and before we even go inside, we're like, yo, let's smoke a couple poppers in the car. So my girlfriend at the time, she's coughing her ass off. She gets out of the car and stumbles when she gets out because she's coughing. Next thing you know, the fucking New Jersey State Police, or whatever they're called, fucking are right behind us, block us in with, troopers are there with the SUVs, block us in, rip us all out of the car like we're fucking selling crack, handcuff us down on the pavement and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was crazy.
So,
We're smoking poppers, and they're like, well, we thought you guys were smoking crack the way that girl came out of the car stumbling.
they're like watching you already.
So,
You're like, you're a weed smoker, man.
the only weed we had on us was less than a 5-piece. So, so the state trooper's like, all right, look, you guys can all go to the festival. All we're doing is there's this little bit here. Either one of you guys fess up to it, or you're all going in. So my homie, I won't mention his name in case he doesn't want it known. It was mine. So he cuffed him up. He's pulling away. We're like, yo, he took the rap for us. And we're like, yo, he's driving. Like, what if he doesn't get out?
That's a
Oh
movie,
my
bro.
God.
Yo, they just listen to a motherfucking
Oh my
movie or a rap
God.
song. That would be a dope rap song.
you never
Yeah.
turned
What,
this into a
he
motherfucker.
never thought that
Did you
through.
get out?
That's
Like, what
dope.
happened?
We ended up running into him at the festival about 3-4 hours later.
Okay,
Oh,
so they
okay.
let him, they took him down,
Yeah.
processed him.
Yeah.
They said that like they were just gonna take him in and just basically write the ticket up, process him, and he'd be right back out.
Okay,
I
that's
didn't
fine.
want you guys just grab it,
We-
throw it in your mouth, and be like, "What we swallow?"
Do we
it."
believe that
Fuck.
though? This is like the state fucking deputies, like,
Yeah.
like you know, like this wasn't just like cops. Like these guys were like serious. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
and like
yeah.
they're fucking like taking
Oh,
up.
you
Like,
think he snitched on the fucking on the dealer or something?
I don't know what the fuck I'm
Brought
thinking.
down
I'm
a
just like,
cartel over
I'm like,
brought down a cartel over half a gram of weed.
You know when things are too good to be true though.
Right, right.
It's like, okay, so you're just gonna take him and bring him back to the festival, like, you know what I mean?
When they
Like,
gave him a
for
ride
real?
to the festival, all that shit?
Yeah, they
Why
drove him
didn't they
back.
just write him a fucking ticket?
Wow.
Maybe he did bring down the fucking cartel.
Yeah, but, like, just crazy. Like, how the fuck, like, you know what I mean? But like
Yeah.
at the time, we're thinking, like, how do we know if they're just gonna bring him back or like what? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And
Brought
then you
down
want to
El
know something
Chapo.
else crazy?
What's
Later
that?
on that day, that same homie's going through his wallet, finds a half gram of MDMA he forgot was in there that he brought over the border. After going to the cops and through processing and shit with
That's
his wallet on him.
Wow.
So if they would have found that on him when he was there,
Yeah, it's like game over. Half gram, that's a lot.
wow.
So it sounds like it was a fun day for him.
That was
Yeah.
crazy. And then my
Yeah, that's
homie
fucked
ended
up,
up
bro.
doing the MDMA and was like puking in his seat by the time DMX performed. And DMX looked high on crack too. He like he
probably
hopped up on
was.
the-
He probably
he's like,
was.
You looked rough, right?
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
like I
Shout
remember
out DMX being
Sounds like a
being
nice
out, you know?
segue.
watching that performance though. And no disrespect to X now, I hope he's better.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
watching that
Yeah.
performance then was like when you seen Master Ace get beat by Boogeyman. It was one of those hip hop moments that just crushes your soul. Like when you seen like Cannabis pull out the rhyme book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like,
Yeah, yeah,
oh my
yeah.
god, like hip hop just hurt my
Yeah.
heart. It was one of those moments, like watching him perform. And I said to my homie, DMX like struggles to hop up on this big stage. And I said to my homie next to me, I'm like, I guarantee you any money he whacks his head off that speaker above him in the next 10 seconds. Whacks his head off the fucking speaker mid performance. I'm like, yo,
No.
I called that shit.
Dude, you know how many rappers I've seen like fall off stage?
Oh, yeah.
Like local rappers fall
Oh,
off
yeah,
stage
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
perform. She's like, oh, that's fucked.
How the fuck you falling off stages?
Just getting too crunk, not realizing where they were, just boom,
This
sidestep.
guy's practicing too much of the room and like not adapting to another place.
Yeah.
I want to
Awkward
see. I want to
dancing.
see like a rapper on stage get so fucked up they really forget where they are and they just like sit down, just chill, just like go on their phone.
Oh, I've seen it happen.
That's Jizza. That's
I'm
Jizza
sure-
every Jizza show.
Oh shit, are you fucking serious?
That's every
Because
Jizza
at that
show.
Wu-Tang show,
Yeah.
that Wu-Tang show, like he was just so like in the back, just like not
That is
participating.
every Jizza show. I've heard it every time I
Oh,
talk to
man.
someone about
Taking
Jizza.
selfies.
So
He's
it wasn't,
always
just,
in a
it
chair.
wasn't just the show I was
Yeah.
at.
Jizza will always be like sitting in a chair, like every single show. Every single show.
live performance.
Bro, he
on
would
a
have stayed.
fucking
Were you
chair.
at? Did you
More
go
on
to
No,
that show?
no, but I'm just telling you. I guessed it. I guessed it. I didn't even
Okay.
know the
We need
show.
to talk to Jizza about a lot of shit.
Yeah, we need to holler at you.
Jizza?
Yeah, we need to get our
Call into
homegirl
the
back
show.
on here and ask
Oh,
her some more
man.
questions.
Yo, why do fucking news?
When's that coming out anyway? Sorry, my bad.
That's all
I
good.
put it out today, but there's a clip she asked me to remove from it.
Which one was it?
Ooh.
I'm
What
not
about
gonna say it
Jizza?
on there.
Okay, tell us
No, no,
how.
no, it wasn't any insider info. It's
No,
when
no.
she said something about,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tell us after.
about
Yeah, we'll talk
certain
about it
girls.
Mm.
Oh.
That part she didn't want in there.
We'll tell you about it
Oh.
after.
Yeah.
So
part.
I have to cut that out.
We
take it down
gotta
from
tell
that.
people from the next show. This is unfiltered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
say what
raw-
you
raw
say. You better be
cut.
careful what
But
comes
you
out
know
of your
what?
mouth.
And as much as I high
Again.
integral journalism
Yeah,
to
of
a
course,
high
of
regard,
course.
like I hold myself the same regard.
Yeah,
I'll
of
cut
course.
shit out I said. I did say something
Yeah.
a few weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I gotta cut that out.
What
I
did
know
you
exactly what you're
say?
talking about, too.
Yeah.
I was like, I ain't ready for that smoke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
you
what
gotta
you're
be
fucking
careful.
talking
You
about.
gotta be careful.
Yeah, there's been a few times
Exactly
you've
what you're
tried.
talking
We got a little carried away at the time.
Yeah.
There's been a few times that you like when since you started at the beginning of the year, like you were like, so who do you think's a whack rapper? And I'm like, I'm not fucking answering that question. Are you kidding me? There's no goddamn way I'm answering that one.
I don't
Yes,
think-
it's
I
a hard
don't-
question
I
to
don't
approach,
see-
right? As a DJ,
I
you
don't see why we can't speak on that.
No, we were like, who's a
I don't get it.
local whack rapper? And I'm like, I'm not starting that beef right
Yeah.
now.
Why is that?
Take
Why,
it
why is that a beef?
They'll
Like,
come
why-
up- they'll
like
come up to
people
radio
can
station
people
and
can
shit.
critique what I do.
Yeah.
They
Right,
can say
right,
you're
right.
not funny. They
Yeah.
can say you're not intuitive. Like you're garbage. I don't
Yeah.
listen when you come on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, can you give me a little bit more reasons why you feel that way so I can, you know what I'm saying? I learned from that.
Yeah.
I don't get like why that can't be. I mean, maybe I do. I guess I'm.
No,
just-
I want
down.
to have those conversations. I
think
just can't.
I think one thing, what I was saying earlier about faking it till they make it. So if someone hears that and they take offense to it, they're gonna fake it till they make it and try to bum rush somebody over, an opinion or something that was said. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just doesn't need to really go
No,
at
'cause
the
at the end of the
moment.
day, what I think really the reason why people don't want to hold their tongue is the fact that everything in music industry, whether you're an artist, whether you do media, whatever it is, it's all about building relationships.
Yep.
And you never know what bridge you're gonna need to cross again in
Burn
the
'em all.
future.
Yeah, but I mean, when you say
That's me personally.
building,
I
when you
burn
say
every
building
fucking one.
relationships, what do you mean? You mean like building relationships with artists,
Well, it's like
with people in
if
the
your
industry?
if your man, like your homie,
Yeah.
is the wackest rapper you know, but he
Yeah.
puts 100% in.
Mhm.
Are you gonna go on the radio and be like, "Yo, he's the wackest rapper in the city"? Because that's your man.
What I would do is I would tell my
So you
man.
hold a certain level of
what I would
respect,
do,
right?
what I would do is I would tell my mans privately. I don't think you're good at what you do.
Yeah.
And if my man sees that I have a platform and he's like, yo, I want to come on your show, I want to use your platform, I got a product, I'll say, sure. But you gotta know that I'm gonna say these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you say building relationships, I get that, but I mean like, who do you want to be honest with? Like
True.
people listen to this show for you. They don't listen to the
And-
show because like, you know A, B, and C. They listen to the show for you. But if you
Yeah.
fucking mislead the people that are listening to the show for you, then all right, I'm just not gonna listen to you anymore. I don't give a fuck who you know.
The other thing with it
True,
as well
good point.
too is opposed to giving whack shit light,
Yeah.
like Tekashi 6ix9ine and stuff like that, like giving light to things that you think aren't cool. It's more effective to just not give them light.
Exactly.
Right.
That's kind
Yeah.
of that's kind of the way I've always been. I've always been like, like if something's really whack, I'm just not gonna talk about it.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
then it gets no press.
But what if
Like,
this
it
what-
doesn't
yeah,
exist
but what
to
if
me.
this really, really whack thing is like super
All
popular?
over the place.
Say what?
What if this really, really whack thing is super popular?
Well, I'm
Then
waiting
we-
for an interview,
JJ
so give me a
Icefish.
couple weeks, and if I don't get it, then I'll call it Wackest rapper.
Wow.
You know, like at the end of the day, like I get what everybody's saying, and when you're in Toronto, you gotta. I I mean, it's fucking Toronto.
It's a thin line, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you gotta be respectful. And there's no way. And if I did say whacked, I'll pull that back, and I should never say that. You know what I mean?
No, it's
No, definitely say it.
No,
if you
say
feel that
it.
way, yeah.
But what I'm saying though is like you don't just say it's shit and then you let that be it. You say, okay, that was whack, but this is why, and this is why, and this is why.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this is what
That's
I like.
true.
This is what I kind of liked about it.
True.
But
True.
the other thing is, because you just added into the, like, what we're talking about here, like, if it's popping, if people are listening to it, well, then who are we to give the criticism of, like,
Oh,
that's
shut
whack,
that
but it'd be
fucking
better
shit
if you
up,
did this
bro.
and did this. Yeah, but if it's working, then
Come
it's working.
on, man.
No.
No, I agree.
If I got
He's
if
right,
I got
but-
500,000 hits and I make a song where I'm literally repeating, like, eating the pussy,
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
and people are fucking with it and they're buying tickets to my shows and I'm
Yeah.
making money, then I'm not gonna listen to somebody who's like, yo,
Of
You
course
don't,
you're
but
not.
you
I
don't
didn't
have, but
like
you don't,
your
yeah, but you don't
song,
have
but
to.
yeah.
And that's the thing is like I fucking hate it. Like if I even say something is amazing, who cares what the fuck I think? I'm
Yeah.
one person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you do something and I think is garbage, but everybody else fucks with it, then that's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. But if you put that shit out into the air and I could hear it and I could download it or I could buy it, and if I do any of those things, if I spent my money,
you reserve an opinion.
I reserve the right to give my opinion.
Agreed.
You could say, well, I don't give a fuck about your opinion, whether it's positive
Yeah,
or
keep
negative.
it
Yeah.
going.
You know what I
For
mean?
sure.
You keep it pushing.
And
But
it's
people
fucked
only
up.
care about your opinion when they don't agree.
Of course.
Yeah.
True. And I think the other thing too is like in that situation, like if we played a song and you were like, what's your opinion of it? I'd be honest and I'd be like, I didn't like that track or that track's dope. I would be honest in that moment. But I think it's different like to just pull someone that's out of my mind because it's clearly like so it's like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
me targeting them.
Yeah.
That's
Almost
me
making it
being like,
personal.
I hate this dude.
Yeah, it's not that you hate him. Like, look,
No, but it's
Charlamagne-
like if that's the first thing I
Charlamagne-
think of, it's like there's
Yeah, I get
something
it.
there.
Charlamagne spent years
Yeah.
dogging
But
fucking
here's
Drake.
the thing with
But the thing is,
Right.
he also complimented him as well.
Yeah.
The thing is, at the end of the day, speak your truth.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
But here's
if
the thing
you
though.
feel to.
Someone like
If not, then fuck it.
Charlamagne, and depending on who you are and how you say it, if you're doing it with a little bit of humor, you know what I'm saying? Like the truth is said in jest.
True.
You could make a joke out of anything and
Yeah.
say the most truthful shit, and it could be the worst truthful thing, but as long as you're presenting it in a funny fucking way,
That's true.
then you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit easier
Yeah.
to present. You know what
But
I'm
it
saying?
might not be
if
funny
you're
to
gonna
the
say like,
person you're talking to.
depending
Oh,
on how you
yeah.
present it
It's
though,
like when you get
depending on
mad
how
at
you
someone
present
and
it,
they laugh at
right?
you and you're like, nah, I gotta throw fists.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? And the interesting and the thing about it is like if I make a comment on an artist or a media person, whoever, you know what I mean, and you don't like what I say,
Yeah.
guess what I'm doing? I'm creating content, and that's going to
Exactly.
be good for you and good for me. And you know what we can now do from that? We can actually capitalize on that. Meaning, you want to make a diss record about me? Great, let's keep it pushing.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that diss record. We'll keep that pushing. You come in, we sit down, we'll interview. We might hash it out, we might not. But the point is we can eat off that. It's never personal. I
Yeah.
don't even know you.
Yeah,
Great
straight
example
up.
is Joe Budden's podcast got popping off of him ranting about Drake.
And everybody else, etc.
But that's what really
yeah.
popped it to the next
Yeah,
level.
he was
And
been
then
ranting about
he's
Drake
been,
for
you know,
years.
doing
Since
a
his
lot-
first
in
interview
the
with
last
Drake.
year and a half, they've done
Yeah.
a lot to really elevate it.
Yeah, and
You
that's
know
the
what I mean,
point.
bring more attention to it. But that was the thing that really popped it. Was that?
Yeah, and
Talk
Talking
shit
about you
and give his
don't be
opinion.
the entertainment.
But now he doesn't give his opinion as much anymore.
Right.
Well,
He targets who he gives his opinion.
Well, that's
to.
fine. That's
And
fine.
I think that might be
He's
like, more the
vindictive.
approach. Yeah.
And that's why you watch his show.
But I think the other thing too is like for me like as a DJ producer, I'm kind of like I don't want to kill.
Right, you're in a different
relationship.
position.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
you're a bridge builder, not
Yeah.
a wall builder. That's
Exactly.
the position you're
Yeah.
in. Your bread and butter comes from literally playing these
Yeah.
songs, and you have to be almost unbiased.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you could have an opinion that you personally don't like the
Exactly.
track, but if you're at a spot and everyone's asking for that track, you got to throw it on.
That's
Because
true.
that's the
No, you
fucking
don't.
hot
No,
track,
you don't.
right?
No, I'll never do that. I'll never do that.
Shout out
Trust me, I
Mike-
had
Mike
people
doesn't
bug me to
agree.
play Presser for the longest fucking time.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't want to play it, I always told them, if I can't get access to his music on the
Yeah.
outlets I go to, I am not playing
Yo.
it. That goes for any fucking artist.
So you're saying
If
back
they
to
don't
school,
send it to me, why am I gonna go out of my way to play it?
Yo,
I don't have to
right.
play the record.
You're not supporting Presser's back to school rule
No,
buying
what do you
antics.
mean? No, I play Bloody
Back to
Hands
school, body
because I
movement.
got it from an outlet
Yo.
that I go to.
True
I
story.
feel you,
True
I
story
feel
though.
you.
True story. When Dynamic, Ultra Mag, and I were in Ottawa, we met with Press's manager, and so he gave us all copies of the CD.
Yeah.
And so I remember we were driving around and like, I guess I didn't mean to like call out these other dudes being in
Yeah,
this
yeah,
situation.
yeah.
But anyways, it's happening now. Like, but like. we were driving around and we were like, yo, let's check out this Price album. Let's just play it.
Yeah.
And we played it. I remember we got through one track, and I remember Ultra Mag like reached up from the back seat, pushed the eject button, and then opened the window.
Wow.
Just fucking right out the window.
Just put your man on blast.
Like, woo, okay.
This thing is not about putting people on blast. You gotta be honest with people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, President is successful regardless what we fucking say.
No. I'm saying he just
I
put
mean,
his
you
man
got-
Ultra Magnus on blast. You know what I'm saying? He just vouched for Ultra Magnus
Yeah.
right
I
there.
think
what it
I think
is.
Ultra Mag will stand behind that though. No,
Yeah.
And just the last thing I want to touch on that about being vocal on people's art, because I mean, like, that's what it is. It may not be art to you or whoever, but it's art to them.
It's art, exactly.
And people, they put a lot into it. So whether or not I say they shouldn't take it personal, like, they take it personal.
Every artist.
You know
takes
what I
it
mean?
personal.
Yeah.
Like,
Every
what
artist.
I do, I take it personal, but like I just approach it differently. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like that's why I do, or I would get if somebody got upset
Yeah.
at my opinion, because it's your art. You could be making a song about your life,
Yeah.
about something that you went through that affected you in like a profound way, and then I go and hear it, and I'm like that would fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
fuck
what I
yeah.
mean? So
Mhm.
I get it.
Yeah.
I do get it, but at the same time, I just believe
You gotta
in
have
God.
tough
Well,
skin, bro.
mhm.
But like I said, though,
Especially in this business.
Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
in this business, you ain't got tough skin.
But like I said on the show, though, you know what I mean? Like I said on the show a few times, artists, by far and large, our brains work on a different pattern. We're patterned to see the world in a little bit more of a sensitive light. We're patterned to
Yeah.
see colors in a little bit of a different, whatever our thing with art is, you know what I mean? But we tend to be a little bit more emotionally sensitive than your average person, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to actually put out these pieces of work, you know what I mean? So artists by far and large are gonna take offense. Most artists, you know what I'm saying, like they're just waiting for the praise when the projects are put out, you know, like I know I am when I put out a project, whatever, like when people are like, oh, it's dope, it makes me feel good. You know what I mean? If someone's like, oh, that shit, of course I'm gonna internalize it a little bit more. That's artists. You can see that, like
Yeah.
someone you can perfectly see that is Tupac. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can see how much they just exude emotion. And I think a huge problem with the city is that, you know, artists in this city, especially hip hop artists, is that they don't embrace that fact. They don't embrace the emotions enough, the emotional aspect. They
I
kind of
think
like
it's like too
hide it,
emotional now.
but
I'm kinda
it's
getting
too
the
emotional
opposite side.
online. I'm talking
Yeah.
about in the music. Online, this is a little
Oh,
too emotional.
okay.
But I'm talking about, you know, just like songwriting or whatever.
Okay.
You need to embrace the fact that you're a fucking artist, whatever. But I get what you're saying. You know,
'Cause,
like,
like-
they'll take offense to that shit
Yeah.
because
They
artists
draw,
are
that's what I said,
emotional.
you gotta be offended.
Yeah, true. I was gonna say, like, out of all the tracks we get sent,
Yeah.
maybe one out of like 20 doesn't sound like every Drake song ever released.
Oh, for real.
Mine doesn't.
Yeah, right. That's the one. That's the one.
When that was the
Yeah.
breakup
And they played
era.
it 2 weeks straight. Shout out to Sunrise.
Yeah.
Check that out. Spotify, YouTube.
It's the breakup era, though. You know what I mean? Everyone
Yeah.
wants to write
Yeah.
those breakup songs.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Drake or like XXX Tenacion, because he was really into that as well.
But he was a
No,
little bit more
Kanye with
aggressive.
808s
He was a little bit
and
more
heartbreaks.
aggressive. Yeah.
Kanye, Cudi as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
Like,
ushered in the emo rap.
I said Cudi. Cudi was really
Well, they were
Yeah,
working
you're right. Like
together.
Day and Night and stuff
yeah,
like that
Day
too.
and Night and Mr. Solo.
But
you
either
know,
way,
and-
forget about Kid Cudi. We're at the end of the show.
Oh shit.
Let our friends tell us a little bit about your show, how the people can listen, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Mhm.
Find you guys online.
All right. Well, you can listen to us at just on 89.5 FM from Mondays at 10 till midnight, or you can search us and listen to like past shows over up until the new year at 6 Degrees Radio on Mixcloud. You can check out the Instagram 6 Degrees Radio, the Twitter 6 Degrees Radio. You can email us your tracks at 6degrees at ciut.fm or 6degreesradio at gmail. We try to make it as easy as possible. So, you know, check us out. I'm DJ Slam. You can follow me at DJ Slam Canada. And we got,
And,
C Money. C Money!
C Money.
See Money, my first rap name ever, baby.
Yeah.
Yo, and it's your
See
boy Chris Green, man. You can follow me on Twitter at I'm Chris Green, just in case. Anyways, and also you can follow me on Instagram. The Ignorance is Free, all one word with a Z. Don't forget to hit up the YouTube channel. The Ignorance is Free. We got tons of fuckery over there because I mean it's 2019. People want the bullshit, so I give them the bullshit. I mean, what do you want? Business is great. You know what I mean? So thank you guys for having us.
Yeah,
man. It
thanks
was
for
a
having us
pleasure.
Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah,
I
man.
love that. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
thanks for coming, man. It's fucking dope.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and when are you guys gonna come to our show? Like, are you gonna come with them
Anytime,
too?
man. Let
Yeah.
us know,
We're
man.
going through Monday if you want to come.
Yeah, we got them
11:30.
on.
Yeah, that sounds about
Except
right.
we can't swear. It's gonna be
Yeah,
a
it's the
little
same
different.
as before for
Yeah, you can
bringing
we'll
A
clean
game.
it out.
All right, you want me to write a 16 or something for it? Like, what's going on?
Hey, if you want to do that, you can do that.
Oh, okay, man.
But if you do write a 16, we get to critique it live on air though.
Oh shit! All right, well,
And we get the callers. To
Yeah,
call
people
in.
can call in too.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was
What's
just
up,
told,
man?
I
What's
didn't
up,
have time to
you know?
say it, but you know Mike Angel?
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit me because we were in that warehouse group chat. He's like, yo, is that you? I was like, yeah. He goes, yeah, we gotta get your joint. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
On all the warehouses. and
Oh,
shit.
word.
I said, yo, let's make it happen.
Yeah. He played that video for me before, man.
Yeah.
Dope.
Like
Okay.
about-
I hear
like
some
a
new
million
music.
cameras.
Yeah.
Operation Block. What's going on here? X that. Yeah, man. Dope show. We out.
That's good.